Ahead of more key inflation data out this morning. We'll get November producer price index numbers as we speak right now. Futures pointing to a slightly lower open coming up at the open so far this morning. Looking like a bit of a data problem on my platform right now. You can see NP. We'll look into that producer price index for November coming up here. But more inflation data is the key for this morning. On that number ahead of the Fed two-day meeting starting later this morning. They'll sit down and discuss interest rates and inflation and the speed at which they will taper their bond buying program. Comments to come, decision to come tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. That's going to be the big market event for this week. The Fed decision coming up tomorrow. We're coming off another negative showing for equities on Monday. All three U.S. markets to the downside to kick off the new week. We had the Dow down about 0.9 to start the week on Monday. The S&P same. NASDAQ 1.4. So it was tech stocks leading the way once again to the downside. Tesla shares on the move this morning. Yeah, Elon doing some more selling. They're also going to start accepting Dogecoin for some apparel for Tesla. And a little bit of a move in other EV names as a result. Ford to the downside. We'll talk about Toyota tie-in there as well. And Pfizer out with new data this morning on their COVID-19 vaccine. So Pfizer back in positive territory. It's Tuesday, December 14th, 2021. tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at how things stand at this point. So it looks like that print did come a little higher than expected on the producer price index. Final for November there on the year-over-year basis, 9.6% versus 9.2 expected. So PPI final for November on the year-over-year. That was the number everyone was watching, 9.6 versus 9.2 expected. The month-over-month, 0.8 versus 0.5 expected. So if you remember last week, we got the CPI. This is the PPI, Producer Price Index, so a little more on the inflation front this morning. Again, higher than expected. Multi-decade high last week on that CPI number. So we're following suit, more higher inflation data. Good morning, guys. Going to be an interesting one shaping up here as we head into, there we go. There's Sean back in the building this morning after a couple of days off. Arun on the other side of the screen. Again, we're playing musical chairs with Arun here over the past couple of weeks, but good to have Arun as always. Yeah, more inflation, more higher inflation data out this morning, guys.
Yo, great to be back and absolutely fantastic. It's kind of sucky to come back to more inflation, but we kind of knew that was going to be part of the story here. And yeah, hey, look, it's great to be back, back in the saddle. Which sheet do you prefer? This, what, you know, sometimes people always talk about being comfortable.
It's all the same. They're all 4 monitor setups. It doesn't really matter for me. I'm good either way.
You're good either way? Okay, yeah. I was hoping you were going to say my seat is better, but I don't know. Who knows? This way you look left, your way you look right. But hey, guys, welcome to the show. It's going to be a fun one here today. Neil's off. He'll be back tomorrow, and I think it's me and Neil the rest of the week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be me and Neil Wednesday through Friday. Thank you to Arun again for filling in for all of us. And, you know, again, another extended weekend. I don't think I have too many more days off. Maybe one more day, something like that, off. And then we'll be back to it. Apple right now, wow, down through 175. The
market's falling off.
Yeah, the market right here, guys, that PPI number just crashed down pretty hard right here on the NASDAQ. So we just took out the day's low there at 15,960. That's not good. We never want to take out, you know, certain levels here on economic numbers because there may be no climbing back. So let's wait to see if we can get back above 15,960. And then what led me to think about this was Apple. And I actually have it written down. The sticky note is back in the building. And I wrote down here, let's go long through 177.50, thinking that, hey, we can just break yesterday's top outside there a little bit. That's a daily, that's a 20-minute. We can have the minute chart up here. 177.50 right here, sort of the pre-market and this little bottom that happened yesterday before we tanked off at the end of the day there. But 177.50 right here. I was liking this area for Apple, but you're coming back down. We may have to go the other way as we're starting to break yesterday's bottom. So yesterday, 175.50 coming. I mean, it's right here, right now. So not good. Apple, I think, you know, that this is going to be a stock that tends to lead the market. And, if this falls, how the mighty can bring down everything. We almost got, did it get to What was the 3 trillion mark? I didn't hear any headlines about it.
182 something yesterday. It was like 26 or something. We got
Came
close.
pretty damn close because I thought it was 182.50 something.
Or something around there.
Yeah, so whatever it is, but we got pretty damn close to that. Was it yesterday off the open? Yeah, and then it just tanked off all day yesterday. So I think we got some key levels here for Apple, 174. We'll see if that can hold. So put some little stink bids down here, 174, see if it holds. We're going to have to go long something. Well, you don't have to go long anything, but I think today it should be Apple. But the sticky note has a few names on it, including AMC. Yesterday I heard that was a fun one. And we'll just look to trade everything.
Absolutely. I mean, futures are getting hot today, so that's definitely going to provide some opportunities. For all the heat that I was getting for shorting Apple yesterday, market is providing opportunities wherever you take it. Doesn't really matter. Don't get attached. That includes AMC and GME because we saw how that moved. So there's going to be some opportunities there as well at some point today on those hot names. Like I said, futures moving around quite a bit there. So hopefully that activity stays as we get closer into the open. What I tend to find is that sometimes, we get a hot 30 minutes and then we kind of die off for the rest of the day. Hopefully that's not the case, but volatility is a good thing regardless of the direction. And for anyone who's wondering, hey, the market's going down, why can't I can't participate because it's hitting my portfolio? Look at the inverse ETFs. You can play on the downside by going long on an inverse ETF. So definitely an opportunity to even play on the downside because there are those options there as well. I believe, I got to look into them, but there are inverse ETFs that you can play to participate in the downside.
Just seeing if you minus food, guys, so that number was basically in line with expectations. So producer prices month over month, if you take food out of it, it was actually basically in line with expectations. But yeah, 9.8 on the year over year number, a huge, huge number. Before we go any further, Miss V is in the building. Good morning.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. It's going to be a busy day, and I wish you all the luck. Please like this video, and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's get it started, guys. Lots to discuss, including inflation heading into the Fed. Two-day meeting starting today. We'll get the statement and the press conference coming up tomorrow, as we said, at 2 p.m. That's going to be the key market moving event, I guess, for the week. Arun, maybe we can have a look at the overall market here just to kick things off because, as we said, kind of breaking key levels as we speak on that number to the downside.
Yeah, here we are. Second day of trading in the December, no, not the December contract, the March contract, the H22. We are fully moved on to the H22. So for going forward, I would not be even mentioning the December contract, which expires on Friday, by the way. That's Z21. Here we are with H22, trading around 46.35 and change. The last level of support I've got for this little move here is 46.30. So there still could potentially be a turn, but if we take out 46.30, it's going to be, I have no levels down or lower that I can potentially use for support. So we're going to have to let that market kind of build something new. But to the upside, I do have 46.85-ish from yesterday that I can work. That's right up here. So any move into the 55, 60s, we were pretty close today, 55, 60, and that sets up on the short side. That's an opportunity for a short. Anything that breaks 30 and kind of sets up, I don't think there's enough to work with on the long side just yet. But for now, preferably, I would like a move back to the upside because I think the easiest level I have is that 85 to work with. So we've got 85, and then we got 47.05 above that, and then absolutely 47.25. That's the absolute high. So 47.25, 47.05, 46.85, and I've got nothing else in the middle. And if they take out 30, I've also lost my last little bit of support. So it does look like with the market, NASDAQ almost down 1%, 0.93% right now, and ES down a half. So it does look like we're going to start with the sell side bias. There's a little bit of support left, but that could be easily gone with the kind of momentum we're getting. And like Sean mentioned off the top there, if we lose Apple and we lose Microsoft, this market's going to be in for quite the ride right off the beginning because those two are the largest weights in these indexes. So keep an eye on those two, especially going to the open.
Yeah, note on Apple here, guys. Bank of America actually out with a upgrade today on Apple. To, what was it, 2 buy from neutral for BOA there. Price target 210, up from 160. So Bank of America is still speaking positively, obviously, on Apple because it's, hey, Apple. But as we said, we failed barely, just barely failed to get to that 3 trillion market cap number yesterday. But I mean, with the overall negativity in the market here today, might be a tough one, but Apple should be important regardless.
Yeah, I mean, Apple's going to be, everyone always wants to talk about Apple. I think there's no bigger company here with more tailwinds than Apple. But, we'll have to see where it goes. It's been up there. I mean, it's at all-time highs again. I mean, it's not going to be today because the market's going to get hit here, down 1%. Thanks for Arun. Thank you to Arun for mentioning changing over the contracts. So you are into December month here. But this is the SQQ. I think that for a lot of you traders out there Arun just talked about, trading something that's inverted. I mean, this is the SQQ. If you want to trade something that is an ultra pro short, that's what this is, right? And so you're going to see here the market over the last little while here has been going to the upside, right? And so right here, recent past highs of the market leads you to SQQ. Of course, this is going to be the QQQ. So you're going to look at the NASDAQ, not the S&P here. But, I mean, if you're thinking that the NASDAQ is starting to even get lower and lower and lower here, then you want to go long this thing and make it all the way back, right? And so this is an inverted. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is you can trade UVXY. There's a few other ones that'll move a little bit faster, 3 times, 2 times the movement, things like that. But you're already seeing SQQ here. The NASDAQ, this is 3X, right? The NASDAQ right now down 0.94. The SQQ up 3%. So you just do the math there, times that by 3, and that's what you get. So SQQ versus everything else, good one. So I think that if you're going to do anything, this is a nice trade. Not only that, it's $6.50. So you can wind up taking maybe a little more shares to protect some of your positions if you are worried. Now, I'm not super, I know we're talking about Apple right here, which is not 4 A's, it's 2 A's, AAPL. Look, if you want to pull some money out of the market right now, I mean, there's not going to be too many companies, especially like an Apple here, that's going to weigh on the market, that's going to be at all-time highs. I wouldn't pull any money out of Apple. I sold Tesla. We talked about this on Thursday, my last day here. I sold it at 1022 on that 1020 break, at 1020, I guess. I don't know if it was 1020 or 1022. I'm not going to do the same here for Apple, although we are very much near a tipping point, which I think if you're looking at the daily chart here, darn it, yeah, we don't have so this 50 period is not going to be accurate. But you're just, we've bounced off this 174.50 a few times here, and, we're getting close to breaking that rate now. So that's something that I'm a little bit worried about here with Apple, but I do have a low bid thinking about getting long here, 174, and then see if we can make it all the way back to the upside. We've battled back numerous times after hitting key levels. 177 hits there, 177.50 hits there. We bounce off those before giving it up and coming down yesterday to 175.50. Obviously, today we're down another 1%. Apple holding up half decently, only down 0.1%. So I like Apple for a long, especially if the market bounces back here. I'm now looking at 176 to see if we can break it. Apple was one of my best trades, Arun, on the day before I left. I think it was with you, actually. We took this one and we were able to average into it because the buyers came back in, right? And so if you think buyers are going to come in, I think they're going to buy up Apple. So this is going to be a long name for me today. I don't want to go short this name. And right now that I'm looking at this 176 right here is a level I'm going to put a long in for. So we'll try to punch this long early a little bit if it can go. It's only 843, so I don't think we'll do it right now, but 176 is what I'm looking at for Apple. I like the AR, VR glasses aspect to this, and you look at a stock like Snapchat, something like that, that's tried to give glasses, revitalize, the VR glasses and things like that. Snapchat continues to get hit every single day as well. Let me see, this even calls up. We've seen Twitter get annihilated as well. Snapchat, here it is, down to 47. So you were just at $70, $80 back in October. What an absolute, I don't know, demolished. I don't even know what to say. If you're in some of these names, I mean, we could talk about Palantir, we could talk about a lot of these names, but even a name like Snapchat that doesn't really have, I didn't think anyways, too many headwinds, down half. This is cut in half since October, man. This was $78, $80 up here. Now you're down to 47 and looking like it wants to take this 46 out. So, I mean, it's not quite half, but it's getting close enough to that. So just be careful with all of these names. The NASDAQ looks like it wants to teeter. Now we're down 1% around here. So, I mean, I don't know. If you're going to go long anything, I think Apple's the right name. But at the same time, I think we got to let this settle down. Tomorrow's going to be interesting. We have the meetings today. Then we have the Fed interest rate coming. That's tomorrow, right? Thursday? No, what day is today? It's Wednesday. So tomorrow we have the interest rate coming, and that should be super exciting. And I think it's going to do nothing to the rate is my thing. It's just about the taper, right? And so as they taper, more money coming out of the market, not good for some of these names that need to be propped up.
But that's the thing, right? You never say never, because if they need to make an emergency move, markets are not going to like that. They don't like moves that they don't see coming. So anything that is, even if there's something expected to change, the market still reacts. So imagine if something were not expected and it were either worded or changed. that's going to be a problem for this market. So I think the market's just kind of getting a little jittery about what may come tomorrow. So you having a little bit of profit taking happen. It doesn't happen all the time, but I can see why, because it's about time. We've been in this environment where it's been fairly certain, or it's been somewhat comfortable, and now we're getting to a point where when changes are starting to be implemented and wording is starting to get changed, it gets a little uncomfortable because we don't know how that's going to go, or we don't know what the wording exactly is going to be like. So you're seeing profit taking being done in some big names that have been up quite well. We're also getting near the end of the year, so tax-related moves as well. There was a super chat regarding PG. Yeah, I noticed PG as well. I was actually intraday trading this, I think, a few days ago. It's on absolute fire. Would it continue? As long as the market stabilizes, it's holding up well in the pre-market while the futures are falling off here. We're at 46.31 on the S&P 500. And PG, at least in the pre-market, hasn't done a whole lot. I mean, it's been 3,000 shares, 157.
Why are we talking about this?
There was a super chat for this.
Oh, was there a super chat about?
Yeah. So we really haven't moved a whole lot on PG, but that's just sideways action for a market that's falling. That shows relative strength, right? So I think what you would pay attention to is this 158.50 going to act as resistance? Given the amount of action we got in the afternoon yesterday, if there's more action today and the market's falling off, you might end up losing PG's kind of momentum run. But for the time being, it's holding up well with the market falling off a little bit. I know J&J as well participating in the other side of the move as well. Both of them very strong, similar charts almost. But for the time being, PG is just one of those names. If it can hold up well against this market, I think there might be a long there. But if it actually starts to fall with the market, is what I would expect to happen. If it does end up doing that, then the momentum run might be a little bit, it's on pause for a bit. But for now, it does look like the market wants to take out that 46.30 level. That means I lose any sort of support levels that I have, and we got to work with any resistance levels that I've marked off, 46.85 to be specific.
Just like Unity Software, guys, breaking back to the downside here. So a bit of a move. It was higher initially this morning after a Morgan Stanley upgrade came out after market yesterday. We're back at key levels here for you in New York, but just breaking back through 141. Also saw Tesla, fresh session lows. Obviously, the market is as well. Tesla coming out saying they're going to accept Dogecoin for some apparel on their website, I guess, primarily. But Elon saying they're going to try it out, see how it goes for some merchandise such as apparel, belt buckles, mini models of their vehicles on a test bias. So 20% move instantly for Dogecoin.
Yeah, I was trying to call it up here. I don't know. Again, I don't know. I leave here and Arun screws everything up. Not just playing around. Okay, so here's
maybe I do like sitting in this chair better because your computer doesn't like me. I don't know.
I know.
Why.
I know. It never has problems, and then I get the messages. It's like, oh, there's a problem with your computer. I was like, what did Arun do now? But here we go, Dogecoin right now. Yeah, the only place to hide in cryptoverse, apparently. You're up 20% right now on Dogecoin. I think this move can be absolutely faded, and I know that a lot of you traders won't like to hear that because obviously we're to the moon with crypto, but right now we're to the grave with crypto, it seems like. Cardano down to 123 right now, Solana, stuff that we've been touting, right, down to 157, but at the same time, these are the crypto markets. I mean, Cardano at this time last year was like 17 cents or something, so you're at $1.23, so it's all good. But at the same time, anybody that's gotten money into Bitcoin, like Ethereum's 3,700, man. Like we used to be, and again, I'll have to update these charts in a second here. But Ethereum's high is what, 49, something like that, I believe. Anyways, so 37.8. I mean, here we go. Let's call up a daily chart here for Ethereum. I just don't think that right now. Winter's here. We've talked about, the markets. Yeah, there it is right there. So 40, I mean, this is off, what is this, off Kraken, so 48.67. But, the point about this is that we're pulling back in here. I think that with all this tapering talk here in the markets, as the NASDAQ starts to come down and as people get more and more worried about, income levels and having a sustainable investment strategy right now in this environment, crypto gets sort of left by the wayside because I think what happens is a lot of traders sell some of the profits that they've had in crypto because they're just not as confident about this, right? And they're maybe holding out money to put it into the NASDAQ, to put it into some of these other names. And I just want to get everybody on the same page with me here. And that is that I do own some of these altcoins. There's no doubt about that. But I really think that you got to, at some point, decide. I'm almost... I used to be thinking that the more diversified, like if you sort of had a little bit of all of these, then eventually, some of them are going to pop. Like Matic has been pretty good here. Crypto coin's been pretty good. But right now, you're all down multiple percentage points here. So what I think you need to do is you either have to play a name like a Hut, like Hut 8, something like that, or even get into Coinbase for that side as well if you want an investment side. But at the same time, I think you got to start dipping into some of these beat down, like Ripple's down to 79 cents. That's a good one there for XRP. I think Cardano is way, just getting destroyed right now. And Dogecoin today with a nice little move up. So who thought it would be safe to hide in Dogecoin? Shiba Inu down to 3.3 again. We hit what, 8 or 9 on that as well. Polygon Matic was 250. So right now it's just, I don't know, man. Crypto's getting just taken to the woodshed a little bit here, and I think you got to let it settle down. You don't want to buy crypto every single day. Wait for something to happen and then get into it. And on the side note here, we have Procter & Gamble up. I think the reason why maybe the super chat came through is not necessarily because anything's happening today, but this is a great name to run to. So as we come into inflation, we come into tapering, you want to go into consumer staples, things like that. I think Procter & Gamble is a great spot. I think also similarly to Procter & Gamble, you have J&J, another great spot to get some money into, and you're going to see this one. Obviously, this has some vaccine talk to it as well, so that's why it's a little more up and down than this. But you see the last couple of days, a nice little flight to safety there with J&J. So from crypto, that's extremely risky and extremely volatile, over to a few other names here that aren't so bad. And just before I throw it back to Brendan, alert on Apple right now. Tank City coming in as the market right now, down 1 1/5% here, and just keeps on going to the downside. 1/5, almost, 1.2, almost to the downside here. So watch out. I do have a bid down low here at 174.25 to see if that holds. No real reason just to play off that 174. So we'll see if Apple can come in. We still have 40 minutes here, guys. So not good. They don't like that PPI, and they're selling everything ahead of tomorrow. I'm not sure tomorrow is going to be so bad on the release, but we're going to have to hear what Powell has to say. It might. This could be a little bit of a nasty couple days here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going to be key tomorrow for sure when we get those comments from Fed Chair Powell. Here we go. There it is. Bank of America, top of the list, upgrading Apple today. Miss V made this list, so there's Starbucks getting an upgrade. JP Morgan liking Starbucks. CrowdStrike, McDonald's to the upside. Affirm, Ford, Walt Disney, and PayPal. PayPal's been holding okay over the past couple of days, though.
Today, I was just looking at PayPal. I was like, PayPal's a nice little move. Around 180. No, that's a firm. PayPal was around
187 or so,
184. I was looking at it. In the pre-market, already hit 182. I was like, 184 looks pretty good. Now that's already gone $1.50 apparently based on the spread. So PayPal, it's been what? I think Lucas, you were looking at it like 2 something, right? 200, 202, 210, somewhere around there.
That's
and now here we are, 182.
Be a great buy.
Where's the great buy? What's
going
the price
to be
point?
200. Buy it now on sale,
up?
man.
On the way back up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think? You don't like the
No, I haven't seen the chart, so I'm just asking.
Yeah. So, I mean, PayPal, again, they got downgraded today. Like, what in the... I mean, look, there's been no safe place to hide. And actually, when PayPal started falling here, down off some BS Pinterest rumors, and then they came out with earnings and they missed, which was a surprise because of back to school third quarter. They thought that they'd have something there, and they didn't. But I believe PayPal right here is a great buy, down to 180. I think it's absolutely fantastic. You almost got back to 200 just a couple days ago. Now you have 4 straight down days. They're doing everything right. It's just it's the wrong environment right now. Like look at Affirm. Like everyone is like, oh my God, I love Affirm. Affirm has so much potential. Like you want to talk about a stock. PayPal is not even down. I mean, it's down for sure, but Affirm's also like 170 down to 105. I mean, we got the Amazon news rate here at $70, and then it bumped up again. Affirm again. This is the buy now, pay later. Fit for everybody, and if you like that space, then great. But they're just getting hit all the way back to the downside here again, and right at some key levels, 104, 105 here for Affirm. Like you want to talk about PayPal and Affirm, and look at Square. Like Jack Dorsey, maybe this is the name you get involved with. Wow, 170. Like some of these names here, I think it's close your eyes, and this is where I say it, and I say this seriously. Like when I talk about stocks like Square, I mean, just look how beat down this is. Like I hold literally like a quarter of the money that I have in Square. I have 4 times the money in a name like Apple or Microsoft, Google, Facebook, things like that. These are great plays, But these aren't names that you want to sort of like rest your head on. You're not going to sleep easy if you're just going to keep investing in Square. It has monster upside. All of these things have huge upside. I remember buying Square my first time at $35 when it was down in 2020 with coronavirus down here, right? This is where I started the position in Square. Then it absolutely blew up to the upside. We got a little bit of money out, not much. And it's not a huge position, so we were getting it out on the way up. But now you're seeing it's faded back into some of these levels, and this is what you have to wait for. Not everything is going to be roses all the time in this marketplace. Unfortunately, we've had a great 20-year run, and right now there's just a little bit of a blip in the cycle. Some of these names that were way overextended are now getting killed. We've talked about Palantir a little bit. Upstart's another one, like UPST. This was another name that was like a darling of our show and of a lot of traders. This thing went up to what? Was it 300? You even talked about Unity as well, which I love Unity. Scared to even look at Roblox right now. Come on, Upstart. Let's see. Upstart got as high as 400. Actually, that I'm looking at this on the daily chart. Watch this. There's 400 for Upstart, Arun. You know when that was? October 18th. Okay, so you're not even 2 months away here, and you're down to 140 from 400. So what's happened? Either they were way overvalued, we all missed the absolute boat on this. What takes this thing from where we were today, right, 143 in August, up to 400 in October, and now right back to 143 again. So I don't know. I think there's some discontinuation or whatever, disconnections from the market and some of these names. I think some of them are getting hit way too hard, or we were way too euphoric up here. I don't know what it is, but at certain points you got to start dipping into some of these, which is why I look to ARK.
I look at that chart, and the only word that I can remember that I constantly heard is froth. And that would mean it's a euphoric market. It's the overvaluation of so many companies that should not be valued as high as they are. I think that's just the reality of it. And coming back to reality sucks when you're riding high for quite a while. So you're probably getting just a rotation back into where they should be. Now, of course, can it find support and go back up? Sure. But at the same pace, probably not. So there's definitely gems out there. It's just a matter of finding which ones. And I think you hit some that were great there. Square. I noticed Square, especially when you start going out to these smaller shops, a lot of them have turned into Square terminals now instead of the MasterCard or the Visa processing. They've gone to Square terminals, which says a lot about how Square is getting into the kind of small business space, and they're really getting themselves in there now because it wasn't like that before. Before they had the little, the iPhone plug-in thing or the phone plug-in thing. Now they've got actual terminals processing. It's pretty cool, I think, and that's definitely one that could be one of those companies that just needs a break that you can actually just go back into. Other companies, I don't know a whole lot about Upstart, but it just seemed like that pace of move all the way up to 400 seems quite high and quite fast.
I like your word euphoric. I think that's a good one. That's sort of what I was looking for there. We are going to get into something that's not overly euphoric. We're into Apple right now. Okay, I thought I heard something there. So we're into that because we're going to go Superman because, again, I think that if you mess with the king, this is what you're going to get. So let's wait to see what happens here with Apple to the upside. We are long right now, 175.07. And honestly, Arun, I just was like, you know what? Maybe the market just flushed down a little bit too much there. We were down that 1%. This is a new contract, so I'll have to look forward at the Qs and see back where we're going. I don't know if there's any significant levels here. I've always talked about 16,000 here on the NASDAQ, and that's basically where the drops happened right here. So let's see if we can't get a small winner here. We're not going to try to make this one, all the way back. I think if we can get up here to 175.50, 175.60 right now, that's not horrible. But maybe the market's battling back a little bit here. So right now we got a nice little, look, we're not going to hit anything. We'll hit some hot dogs because we're finally in a position. And we're getting our juices back, man. We're getting the mojo back. We're starting to feel a little bit. We took a couple days off. Shout out to my wife. Thank you so much. We did tweet out a couple. We had some great breakfast, some great lunches. We had some nice dates and everything like that. So we're super, super excited to be back. And right now we're getting that blood flowing. So right now we're into a position here on Apple. I like it. We'll see where we go. Target right now 175.80, something like that. If we can get back up here, let's just get this out quickly, and then we'll reassess off the open. We could dump off the open. So I'm going to put an order here, 175.60. If we get picked up, great. If not, then man, we still have 174 looming on Apple.
All right, let's jump into what else is moving around in the pre-market, including Apple on the list once again this morning, guys. If you're looking for Absolutely free resource every single day. That is the morning watch list link. Miss V will help you out if you do need that link. Ask her nicely and she'll send it in the chat for you. Let's talk about a few other names moving around here. Tesla, as I said, back to day lows on the morning, or session lows, with the overall market moving to the downside. SEC filing showing Elon's still not done selling shares, sold a lot more. He's now sold a total of $13 billion worth of Tesla shares heading into the end of the year, as everyone was forecasting him to do. As we said, they also came out in a tweet. Elon came out and said they were going to accept Dogecoin for apparel and merchandise, guys.
I mean, I just have one question. If you truly believe in Dogecoin as much as you say you do, why not make it for cars too? Right? Why does it have to be apparel in the side business instead of the main cars? So that's the only question I have regarding his tweets and whatnot. But hey, Tesla is one of those companies that will move aggressively. It's a $1,000 stock. Everyone loves it, from the investors, institutional, all the way to retail. Everyone loves it. And there's so many people trying to play this game in Tesla right now because they see it as the future, which provides a lot of volatility, hence why you get a lot of intraday moves that are massive. And then you have Elon coming in, selling some of his stake. I'm sure there's a lot left there on the table that he's going to hold on to. But you get this volatility. Now it's down 2.6% coming into the end of the year. It's been a hot market for Tesla. It's been a hot 2 years for Tesla, right? From last year too?
It's been a hot 20 years, man. I mean, Tesla's been an absolute beast.
Not for 20 years, though.
Well, 10. I don't know how long Tesla's been around for. I don't
This,
know. Tell me, you guys, search it up. When did Tesla IPO here? But an absolute monster move for Tesla in the last couple of days, man. I mean, there's really doesn't seem to be any stopping this thing to the downside. Elon Musk has now sold 13 billion shares. Apparently, is it 13 billion shares or 13 billion worth? He doesn't have 13 billion shares. 13 billion in Tesla shares. That would be insane. So I've been talking about this over and over again. It's just like a share offering what he's doing. He's dumping these shares on the market. And I mean, it's never a good sign when that has to happen. But again, if you look at some of these names, like, you're only down. And this is what I mean. So I did sell some Tesla here on this break right there of the 50-period moving average. I called it 1022. It looks like it was about 1020. So I'm going to be able to buy some shares back today. I'm not going to do it today, but be able to buy some back now about 9. You know, I'm hoping to get something. And again, I don't know if this is going to be the bottom or not, but here it is right here. 11 years. So there we go. So 11 years for Tesla. So, but right down here, 8, if that's right. I don't know. Someone said 6. 2010, June of 2010. So, wow. Yeah, it's been an amazing 11 years.
It hasn't been. I looked at the chart.
What do you mean?
It's been doing absolutely nothing until last year. Tesla has been doing absolutely nothing. This is Tesla until 2020. And then.
What do you mean doing absolutely nothing? Look, do you have a rune screen up here?
Yeah.
What do you mean doing nothing?
$6. Okay, fine. Okay, it's relatively speaking. Fine. Going up to, here we go.
That's doing nothing?
Okay, yeah, okay. I got to put this in perspective.
So let's just, a room will figure that out.
$1,000. It's 12 times since 2020. All right, I'll take that back.
12 times. Okay. So anyways, there it goes. But anyways, Tesla's just, and it's going to continue to be a monster, guys. There's nothing about Tesla that I don't like, other than the fact that everyone always talks about it. Elon Musk, you know, is very flamboyant, obviously, like you mentioned there, Arun, about his comments with Dogecoin. He's a little bit flaky. You know, is his focus on Tesla? Is he working on Starlink? You know, what are we doing here? Are there competition now coming for Tesla? We actually just saw, what was it, yesterday, I believe, Brendan? The Rivian, the R1T, I believe it's called, got Truck of the Year. So, you know, I don't even hear anybody talking about the Cybertruck. Where's the Cybertruck at? Like, all of a sudden, this was released, what, 3 years ago, where the dude hammered the window with the sledgehammer and it broke, when it was like, this is not going to break. Watch this. Bang, break, right? And I mean, that didn't matter. That was all back in here. But the point is that I think competition's sort of catching up now with Tesla. Do I still think Tesla's the #1 stock to be in? I don't know anymore, to be honest with you. I mean, we talked about Ford. Ford's on the sticky note here today. Well, I'll share the sticky note with you guys as well. We'll put that in the chat. But I like Ford a little bit better than Tesla right here. And I think Tesla could fall. The reason why I zoomed this out before we were talking about how long it's been is right here, man. This 850 mark. Like, I think we should be able to find some support in and around here. So let's wait to see what happens here. 850 or so. I hate to say that. But if you don't get a hot number coming out from tomorrow on the Fed, like if they're like, oh, we're tapering more than we said, or whatever they're going to announce tomorrow, Tesla falls, man, and it could fall into this 850 area. So I think you got to get your checkbooks out for 850. If that comes through, then great. Right now, Apple, I mean, maybe, are we going to get out of this? I think we should. I mean, I'm sitting right here. It almost got me out. We're at 35 right now. We're waiting at 60. We'll see if Apple can continue to climb. So that's a name that I'm in. But again, I'll tweet out the sticky note. I'll put it on the chat there. You can have a look. There's Ford is on there, AMC, Apple, CCL, and Lucid.
Speaking of Ford, next on the list here, we had Toyota coming out overnight saying that they're going to invest a whopping $70 billion up to 2030 in EV manufacturing and R&D, essentially, for the EV space. So Toyota finally coming out saying, I think they have their first electric SUV coming out, like fully electric SUV coming out next year. So they finally came out and said, we're basically all in on the EV space. So move over Ford because Toyota is about to come and play.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so whatever. I mean, Toyota, hold my beer on that one as well. I mean, Ford is an American company, iconic company. Ford's been really, okay, Ford, I see you now. We're down through $20, so that's interesting. What a run. I mean, I cannot believe this name. We've been talking about Ford, and I know, Arun, you're just sort of filling in for us now, but I've been talking about Ford since $6. I'll give a big shout out to Randy. He's buying some there at 6. We bought some at 6, at 9, at 4. 13.30, I believe, and we've been dumping it out. What a great run that was. I wasn't here, but that should have been punch long. Hopefully it was through $20.50. Those highs, we just made some recent highs of 22. I think it was like 21.80 or something up there. Ford's been absolutely an absolute beast. And I mean, you want to look at some of those other names. This is why when you're trading a Palantir, when you're trading an Upstart, when you're trading in a firm, any of these other names, you have to have these blue chippers. And Ford, was beat down for a while. We're at what, 25-year highs now? Something 20-year highs for Ford. And it's going to continue to work in this environment. I already said this about Tesla. There's more competition coming. I thought today that I was going to have not as much energy and everything like that, but now I can't shut up, which is sometimes not a good thing. But Ford today, again, I think we're right back into this area where eventually it needs to be bought. Do we start to dip down? I mean, this is the thing. The Santa Claus rally seems to not be happening yet. If it does happen, it should happen next week because, again, we're just digesting some of the news coming through today, tomorrow with the Fed. We have Omicron kicking around. You had PPI here today. You have oil now down below, down 2% right now and still kicking. So there's a lot of negativity here. I think Ford doesn't really... None of this move today, I mean, although this is a big one. What's Toyota, TM? I just don't think that, these two are really connected at all. Ford's going to go down, Toyota's going to go down. Some of these cars, although now today, is that Toyota today's up 3%? So we'll have to look to see what's going on with that stock today. Only 4,000 shares. So TM is Toyota Motors, isn't it? Going to the upside, let me just double check to make sure that is what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, it is. Okay, so Ford and Toyota, again, look at Toyota, kind of stuck here in a range. And we've already seen what Ford looked like. So maybe it is time to switch out of Ford and into some of the other names. But Toyota Motors right now, sort of just back to where we were, man. I mean, this is like where Toyota was back in June. And you see Ford has been really, really hot fire since then. So Ford back in June down here, like, $14, $15, and today you're at 20. So a little bit of a different beast. I don't think Ford needs to be scared at all about Toyota, but the market definitely bringing this down. Before I throw to you, Arun, let's just do a quick check here on the imbalances. There it is. Yuck. Didn't even know Ford was number 2 on there. DD, that's still listed, eh? So DD's still there. AMC, yuck. Look at all these sells, man. You don't like to see this. Like, DD's the only bid. That's how you know the market's pretty sick. There's Palantir, a sell side as well. Coca-Cola, a sell side. So that's another name like a Procter & Gamble there that, you got to watch out. If they start selling Cokes and some of those staple names, maybe that means there's a return to technology. That's possible. Alibaba here has a sell as well, and then CCL on the sticky note.
Yeah, going back to Ford, I'm looking at the weekly chart on Ford going all the way back to 2001.
Yep.
We haven't gotten above $20 since then, no splits. So it's a straight, kind of somewhat wide range, but still as low as what, $1.30, 20-something back in 2008, and then as high as 18, 19, and we've kind of been sitting inside that range. It's a wide range nonetheless, but finally back above $20. We haven't been above $20 since August of 2001, August or September of 2001. Here we are finally getting above that price point. So big moves on Ford. Obviously, when you get above that massive range here, you get a ton of support down below, right? You have the 18s, you have the 17s, you have the 16s. Pretty much you have support all the way down until at least 15 or 14. So you have a decent move in terms of upside support and you have a lot of space to the upside. What do you got to the upside? You really don't have a whole. There's a ton of splits going back to 2000 and 2000 or early 2001 or late 2000. So I'm not going to look at that, but still getting above that massive 20 marker is a big deal. Here we are down today. I think we are down at like 1984 or something, but a big support level has been, or resistance level has been broken. So it provides a ton of support for you on the upside of Ford. Definitely something to look forward to, especially with them kind of bringing in the electric truck. I think that's going to be huge. It's going to be appealing. There's a lot of F-150. F-150, I believe, is the best-selling truck around, right? And now they're going to turn electric too. Yeah, I think that's going to open up a lot of doors for Ford, and definitely something to look at, especially now that it's actually above 20.
Miss B and I just talking about Tesla here. It's down 8%. Pfizer, guys, the next one on the list here this morning, they came out with new data, or updated data, I guess, on their vaccine, suggesting now 70% protection against Omicron variant. They also said their pill, the antiviral pill, 89% reduction in high-risk patients specifically. It's worth noting the number that came out on patients that were outside of the high-risk category was very, very bad on the antiviral pill. And it was an 89% reduction in hospitalizations and death in high risk specifically. So we went sharply higher initially when that came out. And then when they said the non-high risk group wasn't that great, it came all the way down here to 54. But we're back kind of in the middle of this range here for Pfizer, guys.
Pfizer was a great trade for me yesterday. We caught that long if this thing loads that data. But you see the green arrow there. That's a 53.13 long from yesterday. I rode that one all the way pretty much until the end. I got some out at 54 and then got the rest out when 55 broke. And here we are kind of still working within that range. I'm not sure where to play with this because of the fact, I thought initially, Brendan, when you said, when I looked at this chart, I was like, oh, that's probably just a bad wick. But then you started actually telling me the story behind it. I was like, oh, okay, so there's some volume behind this little move up top and then down below. So that kind of opens up the range in such a way where it's hard to gauge where the volume really is. If we're going as high as 56.40 on this news and then kind of going as low as 54, I'm not sure where the support levels are. I'm not sure where the resistance levels are. I don't know if I can trust the volume north of 56, given that we kind of spiked above there. I think I'm just going to stay away from it. Yes, it's down. Yes, it's one of those names that when the opportunity is there, you go for it. Yesterday was that day when we got above that 53 mark. Now I think you just walk away, find something else. I know NVAX is moving. I'm sure people like Moderna as well. Other names to play apart from Pfizer, just based on absolute movement, right? The way it's trading around, I think I'm just going to stay aside or step aside on Pfizer and kind of look at other things.
Yeah, I think Pfizer as a long-term play has been great. We talked about when it dipped down here, and I remember being here that day, and we talked about it getting long at 50, and then even just getting it back out at 55. Like, I don't, you know what? Like, I don't even know about those stats. I mean, like 70% protection against Omicron. Is that first dose, second dose, 2 doses? Okay, so 2 doses. So then after you get your booster shot, like, I mean, and again, I hate talking about vaccines because it always seems like we're talking something political here. But I mean, I wonder, and whether or not you're pro or for some of these vaccines, like how many more booster shots are actually coming? Omicron got us all, what was it? It was U.S. Thanksgiving. So it was that week that Omicron was found out in South Africa. And it made its way, obviously, through the airways and in traveling. And I think any other variants that pop up will make their ways across seas and shores and everything again as well. So I don't know, man. I mean, Pfizer's actually making money on some of these booster shots. So as long as the world keeps on accepting these shots and accepting you know, some of these percentages that they're giving, then yeah, I mean, countries will continue to buy boosters and vaccines. And again, whether or not you believe in them or not, that is what's happening. So I like Pfizer here. And as far as a day trade is concerned, that chart's going to help me, not help me at all. But what about if we just break out this 55.50 here, 55.40, yesterday's high? We'll see if that can happen as well. That's near all-time highs of 55.80. Sorry, that happened right at the end of the day on a nice little bump up. So there are some levels there. And then maybe even just a 55 break might be something to look at. So one more chance here. Actually, it's only 9:13. Wow, this morning seems to be going a little slow, which is fine. But Pfizer, was it on here? Yeah, it was on here for a sell, 250,000 shares. So we'll see where it goes from here. But for right now, I don't know. I want to let this sort of settle down. I don't know. I don't know what people care about right now. Me and Arun talked about this before. Are we worried about the Fed, or are we worried about the virus? Are we worried about, you know, some of these inflation numbers coming through that we're seeing every single day? So yeah, I don't really know what to think here. And for me right now, Pfizer, I agree with Arun. I just think there's better places to play.
Let's go to Beyond Meat. One, I kind of had earmarked as positive on the day, and here it is still up 3% on the morning for BYND. Piper Sandler coming out with an upgrade and price target increase for Beyond Meat, pointing to the McPlant that is set to make its debut in McDonald's across the U.S. coming up in the first quarter of next year. So, yeah, I mean, the market down, as we said, almost 1.5%. Here's Beyond Meat holding on to 3% gain.
Beyond Meat up from yesterday's close. Well, yeah, I guess it's up. But here's the problem with Beyond Meat. There's resistance up top at 67. There's support down here at 64. And any risk you got to take is worth more than the range. So the top is about, what, $3 away from where we could potentially get along. And the bottom is going to cost at least that much in terms of risk, if not more. So you really have to kind of finesse this trade a little bit. If you want to play the support, you're going to have to wait a little bit to get your prices. If you want to play resistance, you obviously have to wait until it gets into the 66 area or so to work some shorts. It's kind of wedged in here. Just yesterday's action kind of set this up for, I don't want to say sideways trading, but it does look like it needs to kind of a day or two to kind of figure itself out on where to go, because it kind of just opens the door in such a way where it makes it a little bit untradeable. I would say, at least the way I look at the market as a whole. Now, if you take out the bottom, that's probably easier to trade. Anything in between, it's going to be tougher, but anything below 62 even could open up the door to the downside. Obviously, to the upside, it's a little bit messier because you get above 67, 68, and then you got to deal with what's at 69 and 70. That's a little trickier. I think the only clear trade for me, at least, is below 62 on the short side. If we were to get into 64 and start to find a very good setup, and that's the critical thing here, I think, is that you need a really good setup. And if you get that setup, then you can go for the long there with the 62 stop. But until that happens, I'll put an alert out. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to keep this on my main screen. It's not going to be one of those top names that I'm going to keep an eye on, but it will be there in the alerts just to keep an eye on whether this market actually wants to take out that low or not. That's the only real trade that I really care about on Beyond Meat.
All right, we just went
On to AMC and GME here. We saw a couple of times late in the day yesterday, both of these popping up on volume scanners. Here's AMC, 10.5%. It was down 15% yesterday. Tried desperately at the end of the day to hold on to 23. We're down to 20.5 now for AMC. It's been under pressure since last week. The CEO selling his stake, all of his holdings in shares last week. So big move down once again for AMC, and GME looking very similar.
Yeah, they're both heading to the downside. We try to participate, both Neil and I tried to participate in this yesterday. It was just moving too fast. It wouldn't fill the orders, and it's still going. There's already done 2.5 million shares, and it is down 12% on the day. It's SSR. So for anyone who doesn't know what SSR is, it just means it's short sell restricted. So you cannot short on a downtick. So what I mean by that is you see this level 1 price here, the red and the green that's flipping. That's just for us to know whether it's someone bought the last trade, whether it was a buy or it was a sell. So if it was a buy, we can short it. If it was a sell, we cannot short it. We have to offer in to get the short. So that's what short sell restricted means. You cannot just pile into the shorts. As long as everyone else is selling, you cannot pile in. So if someone's buying, you can short it. But if someone else is selling, you have to wait to either offer in, or you have to wait for another uptick before you can short it. So I do have an offer out, but I don't think I'm going to get that offer. You see where this offer is, right? It's at 22.5. Yeah, not even close. It's like $2 away. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that, because when I put that in, it was somewhat doable. It was trading here. It was around 21.70 something. Now it's at 20.5. That 22.5 fill is not going to be a good trade, even if I get that fill now. But we're going to move away from AMC and GME in terms of orders. There's still an opportunity in terms of momentum. There's definitely a trade to be made at some point. AMC is moving. GME is not. So what do? You take a look at GME when it decides to go. Well, I guess GME is moving.
You might be right about that.
When I mean moving, I mean relative speed, obviously. GME is actually somewhat slower. It's done 141,000 shares. Yes, it's come down from 132 to 128, but it's done it on less volume. It's not going at the same speed. Yes, this is an absolute move of $3. It's not going at the same speed of volume that AMC is, because AMC is absolutely just taking off. You see the volume going off.
I mean,
here.
we should just be punching short, man.
I mean, 20, I guess, would be the ideal price on AMC. But again, you can't punch short unless it's an uptick, right? So it's SSR. So you have to wait for the offer.
Oh, man. Okay. So, I mean, I wrote down here, what up, guys? And thank you for all the nice comments on the chat. That's for sure. So here's AMC. Like, I wrote down here, short up to $24 support.
Yeah.
But I initially wrote 23 and then erased it. And then I wanted to go long if we broke above 24 because, again, I don't want to say, you know, and I know there's apes not leaving and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But at certain points, guys, honestly, I mean, this thing's going to crack through 20. So the one thing that I think about $20 here is that I'm wondering about options and things like that. I mean, again, it's not, you can go back here. We have $20. We hit $20 back in January. Remember, like, and the thing is, people are talking here about Matt Kors, Trey, everything like that, and it's great that people still think that there's a huge squeeze coming. I think that rhetoric, unfortunately, is probably over. But let's just talk about where we came from here. So last December, we were $4. Okay, so in a year, you're still 5 times your money. Even if you didn't get anything out up here, and you just held the whole way, you said, diamond hands, this and that. Oh yeah, did we lose can you find our diamond hands? I need to add diamond hands back to here because I actually got rid of it. We don't have to hit it now, Rob, but I just want, sort of off topic, we can do it afterwards. Somebody mentioned that we haven't hit that in a while. But this $20 here, like you're still, even if you take this $20 break, and I mean, and you get into here, and even if you don't get anything out, you know, this is all the way back to May. You're still fine. There's a lot of names here that are off even worse than this. I just got short CCL, so new position. We can talk about that. That's another name that's on the sticky note here. But back to $20. Let's wait to see what happens at 20. I think that's what Rude and I are trying to say here. We'll see what happens at 20. There it is. Thank you so much for that, Rob. And if you've had diamond hands, you know, sure, it's come all the way back against you, but you still have a lot of cover here. Let's see if it gets back to 10 to 15. And I'm not just saying this for, you know, to say that this stock is dead. It's about momentum. It's about playing what we're seeing. We broke the 50-period moving average. You broke the 200-period moving average, and now you just continue to make moves down. It's been a nasty fall over the last week. But at the same time, there are opportunities to pick this name up. You see there are little bumps. That's 21, a little bit of a bump. You're seeing a little bit of problems here at 20.50. Let's see what happens at $20. I think there's a chance for a long there. And there's CCL again. So we only have, it's 9:22, so we're getting ready for this. Again, this is another name that's on the watch list right here. We can blow this up one more time just to show you, but here, maybe it's hard to see. CCL, look for a quick short under 18. That's exactly what we have right now. So we're short CCL under 18 here. A nice little break lower. We got 17.90. We waited for that pre-market break. I wish we would have hit 18, but we didn't. Now we're down here to 17.83, continuing to move a little bit further here to the downside is CCL. So again, with all this variant talk, with everything happening, I just think that CCL has a chance to retest some of these bottoms. We were just at 16.50 not too long ago. So let's see if CCL continues to make a move down. I like this name for a short here today.
All right, we made a note of some of the chip makers yesterday being important on the day yesterday. Here's NVIDIA, guys, just popping up on a volume scanner back to the downside. So a huge move through to 273 now, 3% for NVIDIA. Already 1 million shares. Micron looks very similar. I mean, thoughts on chip makers here this morning?
It was the biggest miss of yesterday for me. NVIDIA short, 297 and change. I was hoping we would stay somewhere in that range so I can actually take that short again. Even though we kind of went all the way down to 282, I was like, maybe you can come back up and get me a fill in that price point because I know where the levels are. No, it wants to keep going. Here we are at 273 and change. At this point, the only level I've got is maybe 285, and I'm not even sure about 285. It would have to kind of come into 278, 280, settle in, set up a trade. There's a lot that needs to happen around 280 for me to kind of take that trade around 285 or with the risk of 285. So for now, it seems like a lot of these moves they're extending hard and fast. I'm just wondering. Somebody asked this in the chat too. Is it too late to short? I don't think it's never too late. Well, I guess there could be a time when it's too far too quick, right? What I'm looking for is maybe a bounce up at the open that I can fade into. instead of taking shorts or going after shorts right now. Given how far extended we are, I don't know what the tick is going to be look like at the open. If the tick is too far in one direction, if we're like negative 1500 on the tick side of things, it could be limited downside. So I'm not sure I want to put that kind of exposure. For anyone who doesn't know, tick is an indicator that shows that I guess all the S&P stocks, whether they're ticking up, ticking down, uptick, downtick, and you net out the result. And if the tick is too far in one direction, so negative 15, negative 16, it means that all stocks are already heading to the downside. So how much space is left? That's one of those questions that I kind of like to look at when the market opens and the tick indicator is up. I should put up the tick indicator. Let me get the level. Let me get the chart up here, right here. Let me just type this in for you guys here. It's called the $ tick. That's what it looks like, but obviously it's not much of a chart, but what you care about is the extreme points, right? You see this negative 14, 15, this is a negative 17. It just means that at some point the market got too extended too far. And it's more of a contrarian thing. I just want to see where we open at, because it does come online with the market opening. So at 9:30, I'll know where this stands, and then I can figure out whether I actually want to short or not. As I say that, NVIDIA taking off to the upside. Wow, okay. We were down at 273 and here we are at 275. Nice little move on NVIDIA. Heavy move to the upside. PayPal as well, shooting up from 181 and change to 183. We're getting heavy moves in PayPal. NVIDIA maybe was too far too fast, and we are getting a counter move right now. NVIDIA back out to 276 now, moving fast.
Yeah, just go nuts with NVIDIA. I think that's a name they got to buy. I mean, I last bought it at 291. And let it go all the way to 330. I mean, I'm not selling that name. I think you got to dip in. ADGI here on some negative. This is Adagio, record low on dismal data against the Omicron variant. So apparently their data not good. 300-fold to the negative side in a reductions of their. It's not a. I think. It's a therapeutic, yeah, so it's not a vaccine, but a therapeutic against it not working very well against Omicron. So down here, down big time, 70%. I think it's worth a shot here. We'll find out about the shares outstanding, but 12 bucks. It's bounced off here a couple of times. Let's see if maybe 12 has something there, but never a good sign when you're down this far. And again, nicely bumped up here, obviously on opposite news, upside, and then boom, the tests come in and they get hit. This is what happens when you're in biotech. It can be a very, very slippery slope.
All right, a few little ones bottom end of the list this morning. Here's one of them. GRTX already gave you a move to the downside off of that index or number, inflation number is what I'm looking for. 340 and then 360 is the top of this range. So above 340, 360, we're into this gap on the daily chart. So if you are trading this to the downside, just understand you're not really wrong until we're above 340, 360 for GRTX. But very, very heavy volume this morning. We'll see if we get a test of day lows there, guys, for GRTX.
Yeah, somebody was asking about imbalances. That's when it clicked. Why didn't these stocks sharply move up? Imbalances came out. That's why. And NASDAQ imbalances came out at 925. So it's not large, but it's enough to move these names, though. So you're getting Ford sell side 820,000, Palantir sell side 720,000, DD on the buy side 606. CHPT sell side, and then what's our first largest NASDAQ name? 231 on the buy side of STNE. And that's about it, really. Apple's on the buy side, 142. And not a whole lot, but enough. I don't even see PayPal or NVIDIA at the top of the list, but it must have been just enough. Oh, here we go. NVIDIA buy side, 200,000 shares. There you go. NVIDIA's there, and PayPal is probably somewhere up there as well. I don't see it right off the top of my head here or off the top of the screen, but you are getting a sharp move in NVIDIA north of 276 now, and PayPal is making its way back to 184. Remember, 184 was roughly the area I was looking at PayPal. I was like, maybe there was an order there. I'll keep an eye on PayPal. This is the kind of move I wouldn't mind fading. It's not there yet, though, because you can see how fast NVIDIA is going. It's already at 277. Or got as high as 277, so it is moving fast. So you do want to fade it, but you want to be smart about how you fade this, because the S&P 500 is actually still going to day lows here. We're sitting just above 4625 as these tech names bounce back up. So S&P still going down. Some individual tech names bouncing up sharply. So this open is going to be very interesting to see on how these names handle the move off the open. And one name we were looking at, what was the AMC? AMC,
yep.
2050s. Yeah, still hasn't taken out 20 even. So we'll keep an eye on that as it gets close to 20 even.
Yeah, I'm looking at, I mean, like I said, I'm going to short AMC a little bit here. Okay, so yesterday I tweeted out that I started a position in Peloton, and then now today you're down 6%. We got it at $40 flat, so it's not 40.05, something like that. It shot up for us in the aftermarket after we got this stock yesterday. We bought it somewhere around here. It was on the 40 break. So whenever that happened, at midday, something like that, 2 o'clock, it went all the way to 41.50. Whatever. I mean, not getting out of this one. I saw the commercial. I saw the response to that Sex and the City. I thought that was pretty good. I still think they're beat down so much. There is a point where some of these names, you can look at Beyond Meat and things like that have just fallen just a little bit too far. And look, this is not putting serious money in. This is just to start something out here. Let's see if we can catch something to the upside, a couple upgrades or something, and this thing's back to 50. So that's really what we're waiting for. There goes Apple right now, nicely into the money here for Apple. Let's see if the market does want to bounce a little bit, but we'll see about taking some of this profit on Apple right now. With the countdown right now, we'll hit it. Thank you there for us, Lucas, with only 10 seconds to go. It's Miss V on the bell, so that's always a good day for us. Here comes Apple. We'll see if we get 175.59 right now. A 2 and 1. Let's go. We're open now.
For anyone wondering, tick opened around 1100 to the sell side, so we have a little bit more space, but it is somewhat extended. But there's definitely a lot more space for the tick to go. It can rebound back, so you might have a little move to the upside as the tick kind of reverts back to its mean. So you are seeing them move in PG. There you go. PG's upside. BABA is one of those names I'm looking at. Futures bouncing off that 25 area. This might be short-lived, though. There isn't a whole lot of space to go back to the upside. So you might have a short-lived move, but there could be a nice little bounce to work into a short with as well. Right now, what am I looking at? I've got
There's
Airbnb.
Apple.
You got Apple?
Yeah, there it is. We'll fire off the hot dogs right there. So nice little win for Apple, 60 cents there for AAPL. So nice little win there for us. Hopefully continues to go here. So Apple right now out right there, 175.50, good out. Unfortunately, our Carnival opened up and took us out above 18. Small trade. Obviously, we're not into that one huge. We're going to wait to see if Carnival Cruise Lines now resist something up here, 18.25, something like that. We'll try to average into this name, but right now the market's rocking and rolling. We're going to see what it's doing. NVIDIA is an interesting name for me because we saw that pre-market action, and then Luso 278. Okay, AMC as well. We'll have a quick look in this one. I'm only short CCL right now, so I don't have anything else. We got back into that name. AMC up to 21, so a nice little bounce upside here for AMC, guys.
I was looking at ADGI. Someone in the chat put this up, and the reason I just looked at it, I had to look at it. It was down like 70%, 73%. It had something to do with their trial results or some sort of release on that side of things. And I was like, oh man, 10 looks pretty good. Yeah, no chance of getting 10 right off the open. They took 10. I'm not even sure if 10 was available at the open because they may have just gone right through it. Anyways, here we are, 9:30. The risk is way too high now to take a shot on the short side of ADGI. Maybe if it comes back to 10, I might want to fade this a little bit, but not yet. Brennan.
Big print there for Palantir, guys. About 2 million on the print for Palantir, down 1%, but it was straight to the upside right out of the gate from 18 up to pre-market highs here for PLTR.
Yeah, you're getting nice little bounces. Palantir, I mean, you're getting. What's Palantir?
I mean, I like Palantir, but you gotta watch out for that stock at PLTR. Yeah, I should have looked at it. So right now. Okay, so we just got a short there in CCL. It absolutely took off for us. So you can see what the market's doing here. The NASDAQ's starting to bounce upside. I don't know, where's my Apple trade? I mean, we're out of that. So yeah, okay, so right to where we're at. It's $1 higher now, Apple. So we got in right there, 175. We talked about going long on this one. So we're going to go money for the sticky note on Apple right now. Because that's what we talked about, going long on Apple. So that's going to be a good trade for us. Let's just wait to see where we go to the upside now for Apple. Is it going to continue to go? We'll see if we can't buy again down here, 174, 175. But right now, NASDAQ's starting to take off a little bit. So we got to find some other names. AMC up to 2150. That's something to look at. That ADGI, wow. You want to talk about something that's just getting absolutely destroyed. Even lower now, breaking through 10. Looks like it wants to break through 9 here. So ADGI continues to make moves downside.
Yeah, I'm looking at Airbnb. I'm still, again, I'm not fully sold on the idea of shorting some of these names that have gone too far, but I would like to fade. But I'm looking for stocks that are actually bouncing to resistance levels that I can look to fade at. I'm not seeing anything because they've moved so far in one direction, right? So I'm back to looking at PG. Shout out to that super chat because now I can actually look at PG, 157 on the bottom end, maybe 158.50. Can you break and hold? If you break and hold, then that's something I can work on the buy side. If you break and fail, I can work on the short side. So I'm actually going to have to kind of play this in both directions on PG as well. So that's one to look at. GME being the other name. Hey, We knew these names were moving hard and fast, and here we are. Nice little sharp move, not little actually. Quite the sharp move here from 128 lows all the way up to 136. My stop on this is 145. I'm not short yet, but this is definitely entering a location where I can potentially find a trade. Given that it's SSR, I can still work something, right? So it's definitely one of those names where I can find something. There's got to be something at some point. Unless you take out 145 clean, then I'll give up the idea of the short. But if you work 138s, 140s, some sort of setup at some point, this is one of those names I got to keep an eye on. So it seems like the way to trade this market right now, at least, is find these movers that are moving into resistance and then look for potential fades. And I'm looking at GME for that. PG can go either way, so I'm not kind of fully convinced on PG. Airbnb is another one of those names. I'm kind of keeping an eye on how it reacts to this 167 area. Clearly right now it doesn't want to go through there, but if it eventually finds enough sell side action to get back below 167, that's a name I'd like to step into. NVAX just took 160. That was a name that I actually wanted to look. I actually really want to look at NVAX, but the problem with NVAX right now, at least, is that it's so thin. It kind of moved from 168 to 160 in a clean shot. This is not what I was looking for. I was looking for kind of a trade through the bottom here, get to 160, then work a short. The fact that you did it in 1 5-minute move doesn't help the situation, but definitely NVAX has got the setup at some point. There's got to be a move. There's resistance here around that 168. Brendan?
We had Luminar Technologies on the list this morning, guys, up 5% here for laser. They announced a $250 million notional buyback program that was going to happen today. And by the looks of this volume, might have been all at the open there. So huge print for laser, guys, back above 15.
I'm just like upset at myself here because I just said to Arun, like, I can't hold Apple. It goes right to the 177.50 that we talked about in the sticky note. I mean, we're long down here 175. It's $2.30 in the money, and I take 60 cents. I mean, it's an absolute joke right there, but whatever, it is what it is. Apple continues to work, so we'll just go yes, sir, for that one because, I mean, again, it's what we talk about here on the sticky note, and if you're going to, again, you don't have to take our trades or anything like that, but, you know, we just talked about Apple there, catalysts, right? Like, again, AR, VR, the car, everything. You know, we love Apple. Their phones just continue to sell up to 177.50. That's it right there. So we took long. It does fade out. Another position that we had. Okay, so CCL out 18.50. We tried. This one's definitely, we're going to flush ourselves down this toilet for sure on CCL. We were wrong on that one. Flush ourselves down. Not a big risk spot. AMC though, okay. So we did take a short at 22, man. Now it's Rip City on AMC. So it's back up to the upside. People feeling better a little bit about today. We already did take a little bit out for 30 cents or so. Short at 90, out at 65 there. So that was 25 cents, but now you're ripping much higher than that. We're out of the money now 40 cents after taking a 20-cent victory lap there on, or 30 cents on AMC. So we're going to average into this. So we just got that short again, 22.50 into yesterday's bottom. I'm going to hold this until 24. That's where we're going to be wrong on AMC is going to be 24. I'll average one more time. This doesn't look pretty. But again, we're going to see AMC a nice bounce back, man. We were talking about killing 20 early. It's just rallied right back up to the upside. So again, not a talk about whether or not I think AMC is done or anything like that. This is a big move to the upside right here. We're going to fade it out. If we get hit on this, we get hit on this. Up to 24 is where we're going to punch out. And hey, man, if it continues to make that move, then that is what it does. Up to 24.50 maybe. Again, I just, I think in this environment, the market's weak right now. Let's see what happens. Another position alert, new position, Lucid. Again, another name off the sticky note. Breaks above 38.50. Let's see if we continue to fly here for Lucid Long. 38.55. Kill him, Brendan.
Macy's just popping in here. Also moving back to the upside, 3.5% through 25.5, I guess it was. There was a volume alert that went off there, but decent move. Some of the retailers starting to go back higher.
Yeah, retailers, and I'm noticing Boeing as well. I haven't looked at the other airlines, but Boeing, just north of 198 and change. I was looking at this level, 198.50 or so. I'm like, man, there could be a nice little long here. So the alert went off. I was like, I want to see a little bit more trading. And then here's Boeing just south of 200. It got as high as like 199.90 or something. and here we are at 199.50. So I am looking for potential longs on Boeing while I've got the short on DKNG. I kind of faded right into resistance. Remember, I told you guys I was looking for stocks that are kind of moving into resistance areas, and I'm looking to fade them. Well, that's one of those names here. I have 28.45 on DKNG. It went as high as 28.90 though, but it's coming back now. It has got resistance here to work with, so that's the kind of the read that I've got on DKNG. And the other trade, like I mentioned, Boeing. I do want Boeing. A lot of rotation here happening in PG. If you take out 157, that could be a nice little short. Remember, we looked at to see what it would do around 158. If this kind of move happens, I could look to a short PG on the sell side below 157. Brendan?
Dominic was asking about this Nuvera Environmental Solutions, which is NES. Remember, this is a buyout, guys, an all-stock buyout. So Select Energy Services buying Nuvera Environmental Solutions. So you're going to have to watch both of them. Yes, it's doing a lot of volume. Yes, it's up sharply, but there is a merger agreement there. It's all stock again. So Select Energy and Nuvera Environmental Solutions.
All right, so all stock deal. Yeah, you want to watch out for both of those. So we're trying to massage our AMC trade a little bit here. It does just come back down. I mean, we're only short at 22.20, so we're out 20 cents right now on AMC. You can see you only have one out down there, which is a profit-taking spot. So we will wait again, man. If we can get anything back down here to 22, it doesn't look like AMC wants to crash too hard today. So, you know, we'll see if it does come back in. That's fine. We'll take some 22 bids, and then we'll see if we can get the rest out, obviously lower than where we're at right now. And then my next offer is going to be upside, man. I think this, if it wants to run, I'm going to let it run and then take me out. If it goes back to positive, then it goes back to positive. I just don't really think that. MindMed at 52-week lows. You see, this is where it's like you can't be invested in a lot of these crazier names for the longer haul. It's some of these names very, very tough to deal with, you know, like a MindMed, things like that, as MNMD right now making new lows. I thought this stock was rocking and rolling, MindMed, and then it's just sort of gone for a little bit of a dip off here with psychedelics, I guess not the answer. 290, not even, I mean, this is another stock that we're talking about. Like, you don't compare these as your investments. Like $2.90, $3-4 down here, all-time lows right now for MindMed since it's been over on the NASDAQ. Not a great sign for them for sure, as that name continues to go to the downside. Wow, that's pretty disgusting. Okay, what else do we have here? BarkBox, Apple. I mean, I'm still disgusted by Apple trade as this one continues to make a move to the upside. AMC, and then Lucid, man. Where are we getting out? So what's the kill spot here on Lucid, you might say? We do have VWAP back down here at 38. I've been looking at this. Now it's starting to climb again. We'll take some outs as we go up to the upside. But you have a lot of consolidation down here, including the morning. Obviously, we get a crazy dip down, which would have been pretty sweet to be able to put some low bids. I didn't have any, should have there. But as you can see, it does hold that 37.50. You wick all the way down to 37.20. We're only long right now at 38.50. So I want to average down in here again. And if it does come in, again, I don't want to be long everything today. We are short AMC. But if you could see right here, 35, 36, it's this 37 that I'm a little bit concerned about for Lucid. It held earlier, so let's buy it down to 37 now. So we're not going to put down any like crazy bids right now to get involved in this. But if Lucid does come back in, we just took out, what was that, 20 cents or so there. So we'll see if we can get some longs back in here, 37.50, 37.60. But right now, AMC's trying, man, trying to come back in a little bit here for AMC. So that's a name that I'm excited for. Let's see if it continues to make a move back down. But right now, so far, so good on a lot of these positions. Just wish we would have held that Apple, guys.
Yeah, and market's taken off to the upside. So a lot more movement than... Remember, I was worried about the tick being a little too far in one direction. I was looking for a little move back up. Obviously, you're getting a much more than a little move back up. You're getting quite the reversion here, back into the mid-40s. But this provides an opportunity. We're in a location where there's a ton of action to work with on the short side, right? I'm looking, okay, find me a setup on the futures, and now I'm looking at trades on the futures too. This is kind of in the area where I would look into that 45-50 area. The stop on this would be north of 85, or somewhere around 80 to 85. And if we can find a setup, and if we're going to find one, it's going to be somewhere in the next little 10 points or so. If we're going to find a setup on the short side for the futures, this has got to be the location, right? If we do get that short side move, hey, you go for the trade, you take that short, and you see if we can't break the bottom. But for the time being, market is strong. Take it for what it is. Maybe it's providing an opportunity for shorts. As long as it doesn't just explode right through this 55, and it starts to slow down, then you have the confidence to fade with resistance. Obviously, if it accelerates and you're getting a rotation in, say, Apple and Microsoft, all the big names that are moving fast right now, that also have a large portion of the indexes, then I think it's time to fade a little bit, right? So as long as those don't accelerate, we're fine on the future side of things. Looking to potentially kind of go against this current move. I'm also looking at Boeing here. I was looking at PG on the short side, just south of 157, bounced right back up. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Boeing, I'm still looking at how it really wants to trade above this. I would prefer now, based on what I'm seeing around 189 to 200 or 199 to 200, I want to see how we trade below 198. Show me some strength below 198, then I'll go for the long. I'm kind of trading this independently of the rest of the market or my reads on the rest of the market as a whole. I'm still looking for the GME and AMC shorts. Remember, 145 was my read on, not my read, but my stop level on GME. And I was like, oh, if we get into the 140, somewhere in here, but I wasn't looking for this kind of a sharp move back. I'm still open to the idea of shorting this, but I'm not going to jump on board just yet, because if I take it here, it's a $10 risk. That's not happening. So preferably north of 139 into 140. Brendan.
Just a heads up if you're watching Peloton, guys. A few people circulating. I mean, it's not really an article or anything, but they're talking about Peloton halting production, new product production and development for next year. I mean, we're moving back higher in a big way here, but heads up on Peloton.
All right, you hear that? Because finally they're, yes, sir, let's go, man. We're in the money. As NVIDIA is starting to rip up right now. We take that 282 break. We were waiting for that, man. I actually put a 277 bid down here around, thinking that we could fall back in. But instead the 282 hits, man. We take about $1.20 or so early on that bang, bang, bang. Now we'll wait to see where NVIDIA can go from here. Look at the market taking off. So all of a sudden, man, I mean, I feel horrible about that stupid Apple trade. No, I don't. I mean, I took 60 cents. Like, I feel bad about that. But right now to the upside goes NVIDIA, multiple dollars in the money. Let's see if that one continues to work. Who knows where it's going to go from there. But it's funny because the market's starting to go upside. And look at Lucid, man. Puke City down. So this is like a story of many different days today for me. Like, we should have held the Apple long. We talked about that, 177 and change. Right now, I'm battling the shorts in AMC, which I didn't really want to be, man. I was talking about first defending 23, remember? And then defending 24. We should have waited for that. So right now, we're getting burned. Congratulations to all you apes and everything on AMC as it's starting to work, man. You're back to positive here on the day. Wow, what a great move that's been for AMC. We still are short, not a big position. We're going to put on more shares, though, and it will start to be a big position if we can get near that 24 level. So if we can get up there, we'll put a little bit more on. There goes NVIDIA, $1.30, $1.50 now in the money. Lucid, 50 cents out of the money, but we're waiting down here, see if we can average in. This is going to be a little bit of a rough ride for us here today on some of these names. And this is what we're expecting. We're opening up sort of our ranges here, right? You got to sort of try to think about where the market's going to move. What are the potentials here for a move today? We have Fed tomorrow. It could be a very slow day, or we could be able to find a few names here at some decent prices. So here, I mean, again, the market's trying to fall back in. My big positions, Lucid and NVIDIA to the long side. Those are both going to blow up if the market does continue to fall down. So not a great trade here for Lucid and or for NVIDIA. Still $1 in the money on that one. AMC, you know my out. Let's check on Ford quickly here. And put your, again, I've just been holding a lot of these positions, so I do have to see what's going on in the chat here. AMC to the moon, Pfizer. Yeah, I'm not pumping AMC. I mean, we'll wait to see what AMC is going to do. I do like the name, though. It's just right now we're short technically on that one. Ford, we did talk about buying that one back upside. It does make a move here. We'll see if it takes out that 2010. That could be an area that we just bounced off of if the market continues to get strong. But right now, it looks like we're starting to fade back in here. NASDAQ pulling back, S&P pulling back around. I don't know if you have a futures trade on, but Peloton, okay, Peloton battling back. Good story there for Brendan. We did have a low bid at 37. That never got filled.
Yeah, market, again, it's still within the range, and this is why I'm not really rushing to do anything. 55 needs to be the cutoff. It's not a stop, but it is a location. It's sort of like a checkpoint for me. As long as we stay below 55, I know, and we kind of do this, exactly what this market's doing, which is provide sell-side action inside this area, then I know I can respect the selling that's here. Then I can go for the short and put the stop all the way back here at 85. As long as this is what's happening, and it looks like there's selling coming in, this is exactly what I was, I guess, expecting to happen around this price. So now I can be more confident with my reads around this location. So maybe shorts are still, well, shorts are still on the table. They're not out of the way just yet. If we were to move aggressively past 55, that idea may be out the door. But for now, it does look like shorts are going to be fine. You see my DKNG short up 25 cents now. It kind of just, it moved hard. And that's exactly what you expect when you fade into something. Now I just picked up some Boeing longs as well. So it's one of those moves when you fade into a run and you know you can rely on the resistance level, then you're going to get, for the most part, run right through. But as long as you're confident with the resistance level that you're working with, then your read should just be fine. And this is what I'm looking at as well here. 28.5 on the short side, or 45 to be exact. And then here we are back towards the 28 even, almost at 28 even on DKNG on the short side. And I also picked up Boeing longs. Why would I go long Boeing and still be short the market or consider being short the market? Because the reads are different. The charts are telling me that I can go long Boeing. Maybe it's got relative strength. I don't know what the reasoning is, or the reasoning for this kind of a read is, but I know based on what I'm looking at the chart says go long. So I'm going to go long here, just north of 198.50, and that's about 12 cents in the money on the spread. Can this turn? Absolutely. Can I lose? Yes. But that's the chance you take when the reads are here. You take those shots. But I've only got 2 trades, so I'm perfectly okay managing this. I'm not like too heavy too early. I'm still looking for a PG on the short side. Maybe GME, if it came up a little bit, I'd be open to the idea of shorting that as well. I need that to go up a little bit more. Boeing is my only read that actually, Boeing and GME are the only 2 alerts that have gone off. And I'm still waiting for more trades. If you got trades that are moving, if you got stocks that are moving, put them in the chat. I'll take a look, see if I can find some or more stocks to add to my list here, because I'm waiting on a bunch here. I'm waiting on Airbnb to go off, PG, NVAX, SE, AMC, BABA, Docu, NVIDIA. I know, Sean, you're in NVIDIA. How's that doing, by the way? NVIDIA.
Yeah, so I made $1. Now I'm down $1 on this name. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Some of these names that should be strong are weak, and vice versa. Like, look at Softy right now. So we're going to average. So here comes NVIDIA just crashing back to the downside. So is Lucid right now. I'm well aware of this 278 area. I do have another bid to pick up some more shares here at 277.50. That may be a little bit too low. I'm going to adjust that to 278. See if that gets picked up. Actually, 277.50 is right in here. I don't actually mind that. I was going to use, honestly, a break of 275 to get out. If we can break some of these lows here, obviously we got down to 272. I don't want to be in this name as we approach the day's low, but it looks like we're going to be wrong on some of these calls here today. We shorted the wrong name, man, and congratulations to all y'all, because there goes AMC. Like, if I'm short anything else here at these levels, then we're probably good, but there goes AMC. And remember when it was down 8%? So I'm going to go, congratulations, we're going to go diamonds again on this one. I'm still waiting to get some more short up near 23.80. I'm wondering if that's a little bit too high. Upside, maybe 20, but 23.80 is fine. So if you get 80, probably taking out 24. So maybe in here, 60s, something like that. We'll look to get a little bit more short here for AMC, but I'm not going to, like I said, this is not something that's going to the grave. Wow, news on Nucor or something today, Brendo, NUE. And again, this is part of like what's saving me a little bit here on the personal account. We talked about Nucor. I want to say a shout out to Austin, I believe. You have this with me. We're long Nucor here at $95. And again, we made this play because I was in too much tech, and we got into something infrastructure-wise. So when this came back down into this 95 area right here, we bought it, man, hand over fist. And now Nucor, no selling it. It's up to the upside right now. This is a good little spot for me. So may get some Nucor out here, but hey, as the market continues to fall down, who knows? That's a good name there, Nucor. Hopefully you guys are in that. The main name that I was a little bit worried about that I may start buying more of right now, and again, I think we got to let it settle today. It's only Tuesday, if I even know what day it is, but Microsoft right here, pulling back, man, down that 3%. That's not something that we're used to for Softy. So it's pulling off of all-time highs. They're 350. We actually touched 349. I don't know if that was in the pre-market or not, but recent highs 343, 344 here. So that is the all-time high, 349 up there. So I think Microsoft can get bought. And wow, again, look at AMC, guys. I don't know if there's news on this. We've talked about, I mean, it doesn't need to be news. AMC yesterday got absolutely destroyed, and now you're back up to some of these levels here. Wow, it just touched 60. We should have been short there. Let's put on like our last short here for AMC. Darn it, it touched 60. We should have been short there. We'll put it on right now, and then we'll see what happens at 24. But last ditch effort here on AMC. Congrats to everybody long this name.
Yeah, so I'm going through the chat, all the names you guys are putting out. Yeah, I see Baba. Wow, Baba, quite the move here. Kind of snapping back from 119 all the way to 122. Now we're sitting at 121.80. Okay, quite the move on BABA. The issue is, how do I trade this though? I'm not sure, because taking out 120 could have been the trade, but now that you're kind of snapping back into 122, there's a ton of resistance. There's not enough of a level to work with on BABA on the short side. So I'm kind of lost. The move was great if you caught it, but man, it's gonna be tough to get your hands on this after this kind of a move. Another name I'm looking at right now, actually Roblox, RBLX. It is below 107. The nice little move here, we kind of supported this area. We got close yesterday, and then here we are kind of bouncing in the morning up to 110, 110 half, and finally taking it out. I just want to see a little bit more before I step in on the short side. If I take the short, it's going to be maybe $1, $1.20 in risk. Market is starting to stall out here. That's a good thing. That means if I want to go short, I can be confident with the resistance levels up around here. DKNG starting to find a little bid, which makes me a little worried. That means I got to keep an eye on DKNG and what it's doing around this 28.25. I think we're okay for now. I think I can put up the risk. It's fine. I think Roblox is what I got to really keep an eye on. It's around that 107. There's a lot of, obviously, buy-side action coming in to defend this 107. We are flexing a little bit through there, but a little bit more selling that comes in, or actually preferably, though, I want to see a little bit of buying that gets rejected. That would be better than selling coming in, because that would show me that, you know what, buyers can't maintain any buy-side strength below 107. Gives me confidence to go for the short. For the time being, though, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Oh, there it goes. It looks like they're moving back down a little bit, so maybe I do want the short on Roblox. So that's going to be one name I'm going to keep an eye on. Boeing, you know, it's flashing around. It's 10 cents in the money, 10 cents out of the money. It's all over the place. Finding resistance around that 199, which may be a problem, actually. I may want to move out of the way if 199 is going to get lost here. So we're going to look to get out of some, there we go. We're out of Boeing. I'm going to move out of the way. I don't like what's happening around that 199 just because it's too close to that 200. I could be wrong here. It could take off to the upside, but I'm not sure it's worth the risk holding on to this. What I would rather see is a flash down that gets rejected. Same kind of read on Roblox, that I want to see a flash up get rejected. If I can get that same move in Boeing, the danger is you misread it and it takes off, and then you're sitting here watching this trade go while you're not participating. But for now, I'll just hold on to my DKNG. Of course, it's going now. DKNG short, which is 12 cents in the money.
All right, yeah, there goes AMC, guys. So you guys are saying, thank goodness. Yeah, we're basically just testing now and almost done with this name to the upsides. It just continues to go, man. 24.20 almost got taken out. So I mean, those little wicks there, we break out through there. We're gonna have to let this one go. Those are good areas there. Good wicks, big time move upside for AMC. So congratulations to all of you guys that have been trading that one. And because of that, let's see if we can't get this a little higher, man. 6,000 people watching. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher than 1,000 likes. We'll put Ms. V back on the screen there. A little bit more, 962. If you can watch this, man, it's completely for free. We've already made a lot of trades. I haven't made too many great ones here today, but it looks like AMC is going to eventually tip me out there. So if you hit the like button and you're long AMC, it looks like that's going to work. And AMC is going to go upside there for you guys. Up 3% now. Wow. Just was not expecting that. So again, good on you guys for this AMC. We've averaged into this. We took a small trade there. We actually got double filled there, so we have a little bit more at that price than we were sort of comfortable with. But again, 24.25, we take that out, and I'm going to be gone on AMC. And just, wow, what a big move back for that. You're already taking out some of these levels, and these are kind of the levels that we're talking about now. 24.20, it's going to hit me out very, very soon. Wow, just cannot believe this. There must be a lot of call buying here, bringing this move to the upside. Congratulations on AMC. NVIDIA, though, man, this one, we're making some money back. I mean, we'll lose more on AMC than we'll make on NVIDIA, but this is $1 plus and change now, starting to go to the upside here for NVIDIA. We miss our long down here. We're waiting at 277.50. We should have been waiting at 280, but there goes NVIDIA now breaking out to the upside, and then Lucid right now as well, waiting. There it is. Thank you so much, guys. 1.3 now on the likes. Maybe we can get Ms. V to also promote. Do I see candy canes in Ms. V's ears? I missed those this morning. Very, very nice right there. I don't know if I'm going to reverse the long on that AMC, guys. I do hear what you guys are talking about. But let's get Ms. V and see if those are candy cane earrings. Cancel that. Roger that. So we'll get those candy cane earrings in a minute there from Ms. V. But that's all that I'm really looking at right now, Arun. We'll see what's going on. But before we go to Arun, we'll go over to Ms. V right now. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, it's Christmas time, and if you like my candy cone earrings, Rob brought this idea to me too. So please smash the like button if you're excited about Christmas time and if you like candy cones. Back to you guys. Failed.
Yeah.
I missed all that, actually. I was waiting to see
I was
what
looking
you
at
was going to
Boeing,
say
and I'm
there.
like, Boeing taking 200. Really? Now? Oh.
Are you short that thing? or
No,
long?
I was long,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it got out with like a 30-cent winner, and then here it is, like $1.50 up from, well, $1.50 from there. Okay, so we took Roblox short. That didn't work out. That got ticked out very quickly. So you're getting aggressive movement in, I guess, AMC, GME, Roblox all together at the same time. Boeing was just north of 200, now sitting at 199. And this is what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you make that move, you're trying to make that judgment call, and you misread, or you kind of get out a little too early. Hey, 30 cents was great. Nah, not as good as $1.50, I guess. But I'm gonna keep an eye on Boeing at the same price point, 198 and change. If we can get back down there and find a bid, I'm gonna cancel that order. There was an old order there. If we can find a nice little bid below 198.50, if we get some more buy side action, I'll step in and go for that as well on the buy side again. I think there's a little bit more there. I may have misjudged that exit, so we're going to keep an eye on this. Obviously, Roblox didn't work out well, but I also don't care about Roblox because that was a one and only trade I was going to make. If I lose on that, I have no reads left on Roblox, so we're going to walk away from this. I know Sean, you were looking at AMC or GME, one of the two. AMC going strong. I was looking at GME at 145. We got close, 144.41. Okay, this can still be worked on the short side. I'm still okay with potentially taking a shot on the short side. I just need maybe below 140 could be the price point for me to go for shorts on GME. Not yet. I'm not entirely convinced, but I'll keep an eye on this while we go to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, happening now. Brought to you by Masterworks this week. Masterworks.io. S&P 500 0.43 to the downside so far. Look at the Dow back in positive territory. Great to see 0.2 for the Dow, trying to lead the overall market. Small caps are lower. NASDAQ still leading to the downside as far as weakness, about exactly the same there for the composite and the 100. Worth noting here in Toronto, we just went positive on the day as well. A couple of things we were working on or discussing anyways in the pre-market here. Yeah, Peloton did make that hold, I guess if you want to call it that. 39 ends up being that higher low. We're back to 40 for Peloton, trying to work its way back to the upside as well. Tesla, the other one, also right back to some of these pre-market levels for Tesla after a nice flush out down through 930 it was at the open there. Wow, 932 or so at the open for Tesla, as we said. Happening now, brought to you by Masterworks, the first and only investment platform you can use to invest in SEC securitized artworks, helping everyday investors access exclusive artworks, contemporary art outpacing the S&P 500 by 174%. Between 1995 and 2020, you can invest in the very same art that they do. Banksy, Monet, Basquiat, and more, just to name a few. Go to masterworks.io and you can create an account, join the wait list again today, guys. Masterworks.io. Back over to you.
I'm looking at here, noticed that's taken off. Brendan mentioned Macy's, so I'm like, oh, what's another single ticker name? Citigroup looking to take out 61 and change. I'm looking to get in as soon as we can get above this high, which is like 6103. I'll step in and go for the long there. There you go. There's my, what did I get? 6103, and I got a weird fill. I think my average price is actually below 61. It's like 610398 is what I got. So a bunch of different fills, I guess, giving you an average price lower than the round number. So I am long on Citigroup as well here as we go through it. Risk on this doesn't need to be more than 60 cents. So here we are putting the stop just south of 60.40. We'll go long there. Futures coming off a little bit. And okay, I don't want to short at these prices. I do want to short now, but I don't want to short at these prices. This is not going to be worth the risk here. It's got to be up in this 45 to 50 area to make sense of it, preferably north of 50, because I can stomach a 35-point risk given the type of setup. I can't stomach a 45-point risk on this trade. So for now, I'll just sit tight as I watch Boeing still cross 200 and continue its move. Of course, Boeing keeps on going.
Yeah, the same thing just happened to us. We did take a little bit of an out there. We talked about AMC. It does go upside and it does punch us out, but we get back in a little bit there, thinking that maybe that might have been the high where we just got out. So we'll wait to see, but we just did take a big hit there. Not a big, but $1.80 or so, which is decent there on AMC as it goes right to that price. Like this, like why does this always happen to me? It's all the time where we get wicked out and then it just drops down there. So we do get out. I don't even know if it broke like 24.30 there, but then we got back in, not as many shares, but now we'll have to hold this one all the way back to the downside. I still think we can make some money on this trade, but not anymore because we got wicked out, but now we're short. We're going to hold this, man. I mean, that was right to that 24.50. We used 24.30 as some of our outs, but we're back in on this one. Hopefully this continues to fall. The NASDAQ now continuing to make its moves down, man. And like, again, like Lucid right at this 37 one more time. I thought I do have some bids up here. So we'll see if Lucid, I mean, this market right now is just cracking lower and lower and lower. And if we're just going to keep fighting some of these longs, it's not going to turn out well. But AMC right now, oops, that's not AMC. AMC on the move to the downside, starting to pay off a little bit off of that top short. But again, we're expecting to get some out if we can, 22.70, something like that, for make that dollar back if we can get going. There's Square. We talked about Square today. It tipped down to 52-week lows, man. Like did PayPal as well. Square down 2% and continuing to make moves to the downside. Here's another name. That's a one-day chart. Look at this. Nice move back up, but there's the 52-week low down here at 169. They made that today. So Square now coming back in. Look at the futures. We made that move. To what level again? We talked about this in the pre-market. I have to sit here. I should be more motivated with you beside me. It hits that 16,000 and then just drops. That was a level that we were concerned about again. And I said, maybe we get back to 16,000 and there's the drop right back to the downside. So a little bit of risk there, obviously with the NQs, but we'll wait to see here if the NASDAQ takes out this bottom. Not good, man. We are sitting around here on NVIDIA now. We're waiting for a better price, 277.50. It looks like that's going to come in. Look at this tank here in just a couple minutes. We were just at 283. Now you're down here to 279 and change. Looking to tick down. We'll take a 277. And if we break through 275, we're gone. Right now, not great movement here. Okay, AMC. AMC finally coming back to the downside. Unfortunately, we did get taken out there, but we'll wait to see. We still have a position on. We got out of half. Ugh. So that half losing $1, we'll see if we can make back $1 on the rest. So I'm going to put a bid down here somewhere, like around 23 just in case, and then hopefully it continues to fall even lower. That's going to be AMC. I don't know about it though. I
was looking at the chat and I saw Naomi Valdez, I believe, was saying ISG. I saw that comment. I just looked at the chart. I'm like, I don't know what I can do with this. As a day trader, as an investor, that's a different story. As a day trader, I was like, well, do I fade this maybe into 21? That could be a nice little move now, but I mean, I had no confidence in these levels because they're kind of stacked on top of each other. It's running strong. 21's got resistance. Then you look back a few days, you've got 22, 23, maybe 24 would have to be the cut point on this short. If I take 21s, that's one of those trades where it's running hard and fast. Yes, it's up 10%, but also as a trader that needs to be flat by the end of the day, I got to be smart about where I'm pricing these trades and how I'm going to get into them. When there's a lot of names running, you can't pick everything, right? And this name has done, what has ISG done? Well, it's done a decent amount of volume actually, 1.2 million shares so far. And 24 would have to be the level. It's a multi-day take of like different support and resistance levels. So I do see the area. There might be a trade there. Not sure I'm entirely convinced that I want to go short on this name just yet. But I mean, in terms of longs, you would have to wait until 24. And just as I say that, PG just took out 157 for like the 10th time. Can we actually get below and stay below PG now? 157, we keep working this level and we keep bouncing off of it. I would like to go short on PG. Below 157, we were talking about this earlier with J&J as well. There's been a decent run in PG, especially yesterday. So a nice little move to the downside could be a nice little relief point. So I'll keep an eye on PG for like it's been working 157 all morning. And if we can actually get below and stay below, that'd be a nice little trade. As I talked, Citigroup finally bouncing back off that 60-90 level. I don't know why I couldn't say that. 60-90 level, now back above 61 and about a few cents in the money. DKNG doing absolutely nothing here. I've got shorts 28.50. We're going to have to wait on DKNG. I have no reason to get out. At the same time, I have no reason to kind of move the stops or anything. So we're just going to, waiting pattern there, holding pattern. Boeing has failed its 200 break. This is interesting. We knew there was resistance here. That was concerning me. That's why I got out of the short. Then I got a little bothered by the fact that we took 200. Now we failed 200 again. Okay, if we can't maintain any sort of buy-side strength on Boeing, I'm going to actually look to maybe flip this trade here. I'll put 197 as my location. And if we break 197, I'd look to fade a failed breakout of 198.50, right? So we took out 200, took some stops. If we break below 197, maybe the shorts are back on deck here, and look for the short side move there. And PG, come on, can we actually stay below 157 with some decent sell side action? I'm going to keep it a close eye on PG because I'm really close to taking the short. I just want to get rid of or kind of avoid any buying that comes in, because there has been like bursts of buying that come in when we get below PG or get below 157 on PG. Brendan?
Mover yesterday, guys. C change, SEAC down big time today, 18%, but just popped up on the volume scanner back to day highs here. Remember, this one halted a bunch of times on the way up to 175, 180 late in the day yesterday.
Okay, so, all right. Now, we've averaged it. So this is what we're doing now. We made a hell of a lot of money back. So we're going to review some of this right now. AMC, a monster move to the downside, man. We just took some out there at 38. Like, I'm embarrassed that we took that out, but we did take half back and we got 50% more right there. So now it's coming back in. This will be a loser for sure, AMC, unless we can somehow get below 22 bucks. Then at that point, fine. But we do have a few more outs near VWAP. So let's wait to see where that goes. Again, 22.60, 22.70. If we can get back down here, that's a completely different story. Let's wait to see if that happens. I don't know, but there's that run. This is more the name that I'm like over the moon with right now, is going to be Lucid, and I hope that chart loaded up. There it is, so the 1 minute chart. So Lucid makes that bottom at 37. We didn't average into it. We were just in a little bit of trouble there, obviously, on Lucid and on a lot of these longs as they came in pretty hard, man. And there it is. So now we'll take a little piece out on Lucid. You can see we're nicely in the money now, 37.91. Let's take another piece out here at 15 if we're lucky enough to do that. And then again at 40s and so on and so forth, all the way to the upside. So right now, Lucid's starting to work. So, we made back. Like, we were in a little bit of a trouble spot there for a bit off of some of our trades there with AMC holding that to the moon. That didn't work. And now Lucid holding it all the way back down. But again, and I want to say a big thank you to you guys in the chat, because look, Without you, we wouldn't have some of these names. Although Lucid, all these names that I'm trading were on the sticky note. But again, talking to us about BFRI, ADGI, there's a few other names in there that we like as well. And I'm going to go over those. But someone said in the chat, Sean, just trade your plan, right? And I think that as long as you do that, sure. And I know Arun talked about this as well. When there's stocks are in certain ranges, like I like this Lucid bid down here to 37. And I just thought, sure, we got into it a little bit early, but it saved us. It came back down, bounced off some key levels, and then started to go back up. That doesn't happen all the time, right? And like on AMC, it just kept on motoring. So we'll see. We'll get it out, but we are trading our plan now, and that plan gets us a nice 30-cent win here on Lucid. And again, we haven't got any out, right? So Lucid so far today, good one. Took a little small profit there, had to hold it all the way back down. Then it comes back rocketing upside, and now we get a piece out. It is struggling here. I'll take another piece out at 10 if we're lucky. There it is. So if we're lucky enough to get that. Next couple outs here, 38, 38, 50, and so. Then another trade that we just took. Again, averaged in, and we're just trying to believe what we're talking about here. Like, we're trying to put our money where our mouth is. Arun and I trade real shares. These aren't CFDs. These aren't anything like that. These aren't options. They're actually the actual physical equity. And when stocks start to move around, man, we can get burned, especially on the futures and on some of these names. So we're trying to, put some trades on here and trade, talk, entertain, and everything as we go. So here comes NVIDIA. Let's see what happens now. We still have a 277.50. I'm willing to buy more, I believe. Yeah, 277.50. So we're sitting there, and then we're going to use the out just to double check. It's 276. That might... Where's 276? Yeah, why did I choose that down in here? Okay, yeah. I just didn't want to be a part of this. If we break there, we may go lower. So yeah, 277.50 is going to be my last bid, and 276 and out. So right now, so far, so good. There it goes. Let's go Lucid. We do have another piece to get out here as well. So Lucid right now, yes, we'll spin the money, because this trade for us is exactly that. As here goes Lucid. Come on, get me out at 40, man. We're waiting at 40 for Lucid there, up to 35. Let's just take another piece out. Good trade here. But again, we just were waiting at 40 there for Lucid. So a good move upside. Good trade there for LCID. Let's hope AMC can come back down.
All right. What am I looking at? I was looking at NVIDIA. You were trading this earlier, weren't you?
I'm still in NVIDIA.
Oh, you still have NVIDIA? You're long, right?
Yeah, I'm long 280.
Okay. So NVIDIA, I was just looking at the chart on NVIDIA, and I was like, man, 285, that's where I want to look at in terms of action. If we can actually keep this negative move, I'm going to have to, based on the way the chart's looking, I'm going to have to look at the idea of a potential short here. At this point, they're stalling around 280, which is a good thing for potential shorts. 285 is the level that I had marked off before we even started the day. So as long as this maintains, then there's going to be a short play that's available here on NVIDIA around this price point. Now, I've picked up PG shorts as well. We were talking about that 157. Yeah, we finally got the information that I was looking for here on PG. Where's the chart? It was that 157 move. I just want to see in action some sort of buy side move that got rejected here. So I thought I got enough. So went for the short here. I got 157 exact. That's rare for me. I don't really get round numbers. Most of the time, it's usually a few cents off. But in this case, I do have 157. We're about 7 cents below. But the first target's like $1. I'm putting up $1 in change and risk. So I can expect $1 or so. Boeing coming back around here after failing that 200. Again, we're looking for Boeing. There's a potential short below 197. There could also still be a long on the table if we fail to get through 198. So it's a very delicate balance of whether you're going for the short or you're going for the long. I guess that's what trading is, right? You're constantly analyzing information, and right now, based on the way it's moving, I would think that I would prefer a move to the downside. As I say that, though, future is moving to the downside, back to its lows. The fade off that 46.50 would have been a nice little move. Now here we are approaching 46. What is it? 25, 22. 46.23 quarters the low on the S&P 500 futures contract. So rollblock short would have been nice, but now that's moving back moving back towards 107. We're still waiting on DKNG. We're still waiting on PG, and Citigroup is Citigroup's a joke, really, because I've got again, like I mentioned, I don't have the exact 6104 as it shows on the screen. I've got 6103.98. So if I'm up by a penny, it's like 1.0002 cents what I'm actually up. So it's taking its time with 61. I am long, though. We're going to wait for this one to kind of work itself, and the stop on this is going to be south of 60.40. So everything doing all right. As I say that, Citigroup comes off a little bit. Futures, what are you doing? Yeah, futures looking to head back down. Let's take a quick look at the NASDAQ futures contract. Oh, that's the wrong contract. H22 is the contract. 15,860. Okay, yeah. So NASDAQ has already taken, oh no, it hasn't taken its lows. It's pretty close to its lows, though. It's about 20 points away from its lows, and so is the S&P. S&P is not 5 points away or so.
Yeah.
So a lot of movement. And this is what you look for, right? I guess when you trade the futures, this is the kind of area you look for. You're looking for that fade into resistance. I'm trying to do that with the stocks, but obviously there's not that many candidates that you can do that with that are actually going to respond the right way. Some of them go right through. You saw BABA strength. You saw earlier. You saw GME and AMC strength. And the GME, to be fair, has taken out the one level that I had marked off for it, which was that 45 area. Now, we haven't stayed above it, but that also burns any potential read that I could have. Because if it wasn't for 145, I'm not sure where the next stop is. So I'm not going to be chasing. Maybe 152, I don't know. But I'm not going to be looking for shorts now that my only location for shorts is gone. So I'm going to move on from there. Maybe AMC still hasn't taken its levels. AMC, maybe what, 25.50? AMC could still be on the table for shorts. GME, though, however, that's gone. Futures heading back to its low. So we've got DKNG finally moving, and PG is actually moving back above 157. So I'm going to go and look for some more shorts if I can find any. But for now, though, someone was asking earlier about that 80 GI. Yeah, if you caught that 10 move, you were golden. If you didn't, it was going to be tough to catch it because by the time I saw it, it was at 9 something right here, and they took 9. And then the risk on the short was, I'm not sure, like $3. You had to put it north of 12 or so to take that 9 even short. Yeah, it's $1 in the money, but the risk was way too high at that point. And the downside, I mean, it's there, but I personally don't think it's worth the risk. If you were able to catch any point during this entire move, you were good. Once it took 10, that could have been good because I could justify taking a 10 short, risking $2 with a 12 stop. But now it's gone too far. I can't really justify any shorts on ADGI, so I'm going to have to let that one pass and see if we can't find something else. Maybe on the futures side of things, I don't know. If they take 46.20 out, there could be a trade there. But again, it's constantly new information coming in, so you're constantly adjusting, and that's what trading is, right? You're constantly adjusting to new information coming in and making changes and adjustments and share changes and finding new trades and moving levels, and that's what trading is really at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to actually take right now Peloton. So we'll say, we'll barbecue up some profits. We tweeted out yesterday that we were going to go long Peloton, and we actually missed. We were at 38.05, believe it or not, today, and we missed that bid early on, and it just rips to the high side. We talked about why we like Peloton. Look, I just think it's too far too fast to the downside there, and we're buyers. So we bought it yesterday at $40. So here it is up to 41.40, a nice little profit for us so far. Whatever, it's $1.50 in the money right there as Peloton looking like it wants to take out this 41.50. And I think that we should probably just go long here, and we'll give this one about 50 cents. Let's see where it goes. I mean, we could get some aggressive talk here on Peloton, maybe an upgrade's coming. I don't know what to think about this, but we'll take another long here for Peloton, taking out yesterday's high of 41.50. I like the name. I just think, I don't know, this is a decent move up considering that the NASDAQ is near the day's low. Decent move up for Peloton. Would much rather get long down here, 40, 50. So we'll see if it does fade back in. We'll stick a bid here as well. So I like Peloton. If it fades back in, we'll take a long around that 40, 50 mark. But right now, Lucid moving, AMC moving, NVIDIA moving, and Brendan's got something else.
Uber is moving, guys. The CEO of Uber speaking at the UBS conference right now saying they will look to monetize non-strategic stakes in other companies, including China's Didi, in the beginning of next year. So a nice pop there on volume for Uber, guys.
Uber Piton. People were asking about Piton on the short side. I'm not convinced about the short side on Piton just yet, but I am looking at 41.50 and maybe longs. Hey, why longs? This is
why not?
This is why. Come on, load it up. It's a multi-day level right here, 41.50. We're at the top end of the range. There could be shorts on the table. Again, anytime I take a trade, I'm looking at both sides. Just because I'm looking at one level doesn't mean I'm looking for the long only. I'm looking for shorts and longs, so I'm processing information on both sides of the trade. So 41.50 long could be there. If you fail 40.5 without taking out 41.5, then the shorts are on the table. Here, 41.5 is like the location where something needs to be done, whether it's on the buy side above it or a fail of 40.5 on the short side below it. That means I'm playing the top end of the range. So I'm just gonna mark off 41.5 and see how we play through these levels. So for now, we're waiting. We're 50 cents in either direction would set up a trade, whether it's the long or the short. Futures, creeping low. Someone was asking, well, what happens if we take out the low, or if we don't take out the low, do we just range? I mean, it's gonna be quite the wide range. Yeah, that's a possibility, right? But it's the type of market you're dealing with kind of leads you in that direction because everyone's waiting on the Fed. Volume was quite aggressive in the morning. You got that buyback move of 20-something points, 25 points or so, all the way back up to 46.50. Now the market's leaking back up. Could it double bottom? Absolutely. What I wouldn't mind though is the low getting taken out, which is 46.23 quarter. If you take out the low, set some stops off, and then bounce back, so almost like a failed breakdown, causing a double bottom, because at least that way I know the stops are taken out, right? When the stops get taken out, then I can be confident that I have a trade to work with. So I would prefer that on the futures, but for now though, we're just gonna wait on this on the futures market to figure its trade. DKNG doing nothing. Citigroup is finally starting to go. Citigroup is now north of 61.10. So this is it's a $60 stock. It's not a hot name, but when it moves, it moves. So I like, and the thing is, it does a decent amount of volume, so you can actually take more shares on it too. So here we are, 12-cent winner there, PG 7-cent winner, and DKNG bouncing back a little bit, but we're stuck in DKNG. Given the price point, given the setup, we're gonna have to wait on this one. You're either gonna lose the 60-something cents, or you're gonna make money by breaking 28 and go to the downside. So we're just gonna wait on these, and maybe I'll find something new as well.
Wow, I was looking at AMC. Wow, what a battle back there. Lucid again drops all the way back down and up. Someone said, yeah, Natasha wants me to yell no whammies. But I like that game, press your luck. You know press your luck? We go no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, stop. And then sometimes you get whammies. Well, today we have a whammy, and that is AMC. Good thing we were able to get some out. I mean, we noticed that it was bouncing around 23.40 over and over and over and over again. So, able to get some out. Obviously, short. There is an out up there, and then we reversed it back into the short again, and then we're able to take some profits back on AMC. But this is a no whammy, no whammy. Stop. It's a whammy for me today, but congratulations to everybody else, man. Diamond hands for you guys on AMC, as there it goes, the 8. Making that money back today, so that's good, man. Good hold by anybody yesterday, that's for sure. Lucid, we already talked about that one. And then guess what's back right now? Back again. Guess who's back? It is, give me a... What am I long at on? So 277.51, Arun. I was sitting here on this for a decent size position to get into, actually not decent, it was just to double the shares. Down here, we miss it by about 20 cents as right now. There's a nice little win for us. Fire off some more hot dogs as here we go. Let's go, baby. NVIDIA going back up to the upside. Damn you, NVIDIA. We just missed that one. But there it goes, man. Really no problems today. The only problem that we've had is AMC. Everything else, man, cash money. $4 in the money on NVIDIA right now. 80 cents in the money on Lucid right now. 60 cents out of the money as AMC taking out highs right now. So we only have two negative stocks. CCL, which was one trade, and then AMC that I keep on battling. Damn it, apes, you guys win. So there it is, man. The cash cow that has been AMC returns. For me going short on that one, the only big loser for me, as there goes NVIDIA again, Arun. Now $5 in the money. NVIDIA is starting to take out some new tops here. Let's see if it takes out this 285. Let's go NVDA, baby. And there goes AMC, unfortunately, taking that out, 24.50. AMC, we got stopped out one more time. So we're going to be done AMC until we figure this out.
Yeah, and hey, NVIDIA, I'll join you on NVIDIA as soon as we cross through 285. That's my location for entry. We're either going to go for the short somewhere south of 277, or we're going to go for the long. If we're going to go for the long, I'm waiting at 285 to do that. So for now, we're just going to keep the 3 positions that I've got, and we're going to go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, a little bit of a review time for Small Cap World. We were talking about this GRTX. Remember, start over here on the daily chart. This is, we're trading right now essentially at some of these levels that would get you into this massive gap on the daily chart. So big time levels coming into play right now for GRTX. It did give you a quick trade at the open to the downside there, but 340 and then 365. What I am currently watching right now for this GRTX, still doing decent volume. Mind, not Mind Med, but MIND on the NASDAQ. Quick trade at the open there. Nothing really to talk about. Volume is completely gone. Volume also dying off on this blue Bellis Health from yesterday. Remember, this was a big crazy mover from yesterday. Failed at 8 a couple of times. We're down to 760 at the lows there. Volume, bit of an issue though for BLU, guys.
Yeah, north of 285.
Let's go.
So I'm looking for potential longs. I'm going to wait a little bit, just a little bit. I feel like a lot of names are hot. I was looking at BABA as well. I know BABA took off that 125.50 is what I had marked off. They're sitting just south of 126 right now. So there are definitely some names on the table that we can go long. BABA is one of them. NVIDIA is the other. I just want to, it's moving up quite fast for me right now. So I just want to let some selling come in. When things move this quickly in one direction, I just like to see how well they can absorb volume coming in the opposite direction. In this case, obviously we're going up. How much selling can you absorb? If you can absorb a decent amount, then I know that the buy strength is there to kind of like support the move. If you can't and bids just drop off, this market or this stock is going to come back aggressive. So that's my concern. That's my only concern with these names. I do want to be long on these. I do want to be long on these names. I just don't want to jump in just yet. As BABA takes out 126, this is one insane move in BABA. A lot of names. Well, we saw AMC, we saw GME take off. I noticed that AMC also running to the upside here.
I'm just upset at myself
on AMC.
Yeah, because like what the hell? Like, and again, I want to say thank you so much for this kind of talk, and I'm not going to repeat it as well. But Sean is an FKN. I don't know what that means. Great trader. He just adjusts so quickly. It turns negatives into positives. I mean, that's the thing, and I think that. Thank you. First of all, thank you for the comments. I mean, it's so kind of you. And there goes Lucid again. Yes, sir. Let's go. Bang right there for Lucid. Nice move to the upside. And again, it is what it is. But sometimes you got to sort of understand that you don't have a good read on a stock. And I just thought, and I was trying to give AMC life, and it kept breathing and breathing over and over and over again. And it just a nice move to the upside. So someone said, I hope I learned my lesson. Yeah, but I don't sit here and try to trade revengefully or anything like that. I just thought AMC was a little overdone to the downside there yesterday. It was going to pop back up and then give us some levels to short, which it looks like it is right now. It's just unfortunately I danced with the devil too much up here. We were able to get some out, which was good, and then it just took us out on the top, and then just back and forth there. We had a little bit of overfill on shares, but it doesn't matter. That's what that is. And then here's NVIDIA. I know you were like all aboard, said Arun, as we break through 285, but this was a $7 winner at one point. We didn't take it. So I'm thinking about this bottom right here. 288. If we can get to 288, let's take a dime piece on this name and get out right there. If it can come back up to 288, we all like dimes. So that'll be a good one there for sure. And then we're back into another name. We don't have a Peloton thing, so we'll go walking on water right now. We're into Peloton above 41. And again, a strong name here in the market. Let's see if it continues to work. Peloton, we'll see though. But I mean, 42 is a good area. We'll put an offer maybe at 41.75. We'll play the quarters. So we're just trying to scalp this one, man. If we could take 25 cents and then again at 42, we should and will do that. So far, so good there. And then Lucid, I mean, let's go, man. You want to talk about a roller coaster ride? This could probably be the trade of the day. As there goes Lucid. Again, yes, we got that name. And again, those of you guys, and I want to say a big shout out to everybody here, but look what we talked about. Go long Apple. We'll see what Ford's doing. Long near $20. We'll have another look at that one. AMC short up to 24. It looks like we're going to be right, man, but we just got taken out on the high side. So we'll wait to see on this one. I may go short again, AMC right now. Long Apple all day, man. We should have a $4 winner on that one, but we don't. And then CCL, that was a bad trade for us. And then let's go long on Lucid. That again, on the sticky note. So hopefully I'll put that there and you can have that, to have a look again. There goes AMD also going. But I love Lucid. I love all this stuff. There goes Lucid right now, $1.40 in the money on Lucid, $6.50 in the money on NVIDIA, 15 cents now in the money on Peloton. So, hey, man, all is good over on this side. Let's check in on the man, the myth, the legend. That is Mr. Wickens. And here we go again. Boom, Peloton, right to our level, 41.75. Let's go. Are you having fun yet, guys? I know Brendan is. What up, bud?
Sean, very rested, back from a couple days off, back in form as well. Datadog, guys, we talked about downgrade from JP Morgan today. Through 160 there, some volume went off, but downgrade, price target cut all the way down to 155. So big levels over here on the daily chart for Datadog, but trying to bounce a little bit with this overall market move. It's 10:30. Let's get a quick check on how things over in Europe are doing. Miss V, 1 hour to go. What's up?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are mixed amid continuing spread of new COVID-19 variant. News online supermarket Ocado trading in London is up 9% after posting strong earnings report. Back to you.
Yeah, trying to bounce back for the S&P right now. Still 0.5%, guys, in the red, but the Dow was positive.
There's so many trades that could potentially be setting up. I'm just like, okay, I got to make my choices here. We have NVIDIA. We were looking at NVIDIA at 185 or 285. It's still flirting with it. Again, I want to see some selling. I want not because I want it to come down. I just want to see how well we absorb any selling that comes in. One stock that just doesn't care about the selling, BABA, just absolutely on fire here. We were talking about this at 125 something, when as high as 127 and change. Here we go, all the way running back up. I need to slow down. This is going way too fast for me to get involved on the short side or even on the long side. It's kind of like, where's my support point? If we're moving this fast, I have no support points that I can work with. Futures, I might be able to maybe pick up a long at some point on the futures here using 46.20 as my stop. For now, I'm going to keep an eye on that, but there could be a trade there. We're just waiting. We got Citigroup and PG in the money. DKNG's out of the money. We're waiting on BABA to give us a level to work with. Peloton, I might be going on the buy side. Peloton north of 41.50. It's just one of those names where, again, show me the selling. The reason being, if I know that we can handle the selling, then I know I can go for the long. So show me the selling north of 41.50, and then I'll get involved on Peloton. I'm fairly close to that. And then NVIDIA as well. NVIDIA is the other name that I'm waiting to see how well we do with the selling. If we can get, well, we were there just now, but if we can get a little bit more selling, that can be bought back up north of 285. I'm still trying to figure out what the level is. I feel like it might be 282-ish. But for now, again, it's backing away from 285 on NVIDIA. So I'm waiting to see how this plays out, especially in terms of the volume. The only one that's surprising me is DKNG. I don't understand where it's getting this buy-side action from. Obviously, other names are moving, but DKNG has been somewhat flat for the most part, and now it's kind of picking up a bit. So that one's like 30 cents out at the moment. So we're going to wait for those and wait on Piton and NVIDIA, and Baba is going to need to kind of really give me some action before I get involved.
All right. So, man, I'm dancing with the devil just one more time here on AMC. We went short again. I just was reviewing my notes, man, and honestly, if we take out this high, then this is well worth it for me. We're going to go short here at 25s, or 24, 24. It just did go all the way down to 24 flat for us. That was a 25-cent winner. We didn't, here it comes, it's going to rip us off again. It didn't, wow. I did not learn my lesson. Someone said there, did you learn your lesson? We're using the day's high as our out. Which basically is going to get hit there. It just ripped up to it and now is falling back down a little bit. So we'll see if lesson learned or not here on AMC, but we're using that as our out. We do have some bids down here and then some bids down here again. So let's wait to see, man, if it does come through. But AMC right now, wow. Congratulations to everybody again on that name. Nothing I can do about it. Peloton right now, we'll do this. We'll have some chicken dinner winners there. Someone said not today. If you're on the chat, you said you take 30 milligrams of something. I don't know. Did we talk about anything like that? Vitamin supplements or something? I don't know. But there it is. So Peloton, nicely done, up to 41.75 and out. And now we'll wait to see where it goes. NVIDIA, did NVIDIA touch that? Almost, man. 288. We got as high as 287 there. 288 is going to be a target for me on NVDA, especially if this market wants to go. We may hold on. Damn it. I was going to say, darn it. We may hold on to this a little bit longer because this NASDAQ, I still think we can test 16,000 again at some point today. We just got to get above volume weighted average price, which is right down here, or up here, I guess, at this point. A little bit more of a bump on the NASDAQ, and I think we can just chill out up here, and then one more push upside gets us to the promised land on a lot of these names. So hopefully NVIDIA can just continue to move upside here. We are $5 in the money. I don't want to stare that one down and forget about it. And there it goes, man. I mean, we're pretty proud of it. So we'll do this one more time. We'll fire the chickens out as we just take a nice little win there on AMC back down. It drops down as low as 80, so let's put another bid somewhere around there. See if we can get an 80 bid on AMC right now. 40 cents in the money on this name after taking a couple baths. What's up, my man?
Arun was mentioning Alibaba there with an impressive move. Couple of other Chinese-based names just popping up here. Bilibili, first off, big volume spike on Bilibili. And then this one as well, BEKE. Nice move from 19 up to almost 20 there on volume as well for that.
Yes, okay, massive move down on Lyft in the last 1 minute. Okay, we'll look at that, guys, for you for sure in a second. So right now, just getting our orders all locked and loaded. I am bidding 80s here on AMC. We've dipped down a couple times to those levels, so that's a level that I'm debating right now on AMC is that 80 spot. So we'll see if that's going to come through right now, but 80 on AMC, a level where I'm trying to bid the rest of these out around.
Yeah, I just picked up my long on Piton here. We'll put up $1.15 risk. The long is just north of 41.50. Stop is going to be just south of 40 even. So $1.50 risk. Do I see the upside? Yeah, there's a ton of upside left on Piton. If I just pull this chart back a little bit, maybe we'll go to a 15-minute chart just to show the space that we have to the upside. The reason I chose this level is for this reason. There really isn't a whole lot stopping us. From this point on, we should have a decent amount of space to about 43. That's a 1-to-1 risk reward, right? I might start protecting a little bit as we get above 42.50, but apart from that, there should be a decent amount of space. We've got decent support down below. We got two old highs around this 41 area, so we should have some support. So I've got two longs, two shorts, one of each in the money. I've got Citigroup in the money and PG in the money, and then I've got DKNG and Piton. Piton I just got in, and it's coming back a little bit. And the DKNG we've been in for pretty much most of the morning here. And that one's coming in back in as well. So futures, what are you doing? I'd like to catch a long here too if I can. Not yet. There's nothing there on Piton, or not Piton, on the futures there. So we're just going to wait a little bit more. AMC. Okay, so I've got alerts for certain prices. AMC was 24.50 was the alert on AMC. It got as high as 24.59 and then kind of came right back in. So it's in an area there could have been a trade here. Maybe not. I don't want to step into AMC. We see how aggressive these stocks are moving. So I don't want to step in just yet. And then I'll take a look at PayPal after we come back from Brendan.
Somebody was mentioning MindMed early on this morning, guys. There was a little headline, we'll call it, on Mind Medicine this morning. This Robert Barrow, now officially CEO, taking over for J.R. Ron, who resigned much earlier last year, or this year, from the company. So Robert Barrow now officially CEO for MindMed.
All right, so MindMed, some management changes. That makes a little bit of sense on that one. You did talk a little bit about AMC there, and of course, we're in AMC, bouncing off that 23.85 there. So that's going to be a level to look at for a little bit of concern. Our Peloton has fallen back in a little bit. We did take 25 cents or so on that first spot. Now it's come back in. I still want to get longer in here. Some of this consolidation, 41 and change. So we do have, actually have a bit lower at 40.50, but I'm thinking right now, if we can get something around 41 flat, I don't mind doing that on Peloton either. So that's a name to look at. And then you said you wanted to look at something when we got back. What was it? PayPal. Yeah, anything on that?
I was looking at PayPal just north of 189, but we're backing away from that 189 level. Again, a lot of these areas that I pick, it's a matter of how we trade around that price point, right? So it's not just getting past the price point, it's how are we trading once we get there or get just past it by even a little bit. And clearly 189 is going to be an interesting level to keep an eye on. Now we're rejecting it fairly well. So here we are at 188 on PayPal. Now I'm going to move that marker up to 190 and see how we trade around 189 again if we get back up there. If we fail, there might be a short in play for PayPal around this price point. I know there's a lot of action. There's probably support going down to 186 and change. So as long as we fade here, there might be a trade. There's a lot that needs to happen, especially with a lot of my trades. There's a lot that needs to kind of fall into place, and I'm constantly looking for that. So we're going to just keep it up, and maybe we'll get something at some point. But for now, Piton on the buy side out 12 cents. DKNG just messing around, out 8 cents. Citigroup up 4 cents, and PG up 11 cents. So we're just waiting on those trades. Futures coming off a little bit here. If they take the lows, if they take the 46.20s, there might be a trade. There could be a trade in front of or behind the 46.20 level. You either break it to the downside, go for the short, if there's a stop level, or you set up a long in front of that location and you go for the long and look for it to move back to 45. But right now, the way it's moving, not surprising, right? Fed coming in tomorrow. Market's already done its opening move in terms of volume. The only last burst of volume we're probably going to see, I would think, in terms of volatility, would be European close in about an hour. At 11:30 Eastern time, there's a European close that could change things around. There tends to be a lot of volatility around that price point. Around that time. And as I talk about that though, BABA, gone. What is, I would love to participate in this. Yeah, it's gone. It's absolutely gone to the upside. Like, this is nuts. I'm kind of speechless at the move of BABA because I want to get involved. I just don't know where. At the way it's moving, there's no way you can even catch a move if you don't already have it. Brendan.
Hey guys, quick look at how the overall market is shaping up right now. We're still red, but off the lows slightly here for the S&P 500. It's actually quite a mixed board overall. There is positivity coming from the banking group here down in the bottom left corner. There's also some positivity far corner here from the communication services and materials sector today. Also oil, a little bit of a move off the low here. So some energy names catching a bounce. Remember, the entire energy group down about 5 and 6% across the board yesterday. So bit of a relief bounce here for some of the energy stocks. I just saw Google here. It's very rare you see Google on this board, but 2.5% to the downside today for GOGL, their Google Chatter as well. CHTR on here. There's also Dish, Comcast, ATVI, LYV, just to name a few in the communication services sector. Again, positive on the day. Healthcare stocks are red, even though there are a few standing out here in positive territory. Both pharmaceutical and healthcare equipment makers to the downside so far, as are the consumer discretionary names, mostly because of durable goods. Apparel makers all in the red. Some hotels and casinos back to the upside, along with the cruise lines today. But it's all about the tech sector today, leading the market to the downside so far. Software names, the entire group almost in positive territory. Same story for semiconductors and hardware equipment makers being offset, though, worth mentioning by the banks. Very strong for some of the banks so far today. 0.75. We went down 0.5 or 0.05 while I was talking there, guys. Back to you.
All right. Yeah, and as this has been happening, you can see the market just starting to puke City right here to the downside. Just like we talked about testing 16,000, we thought that it could get back up there. It's obviously doing the complete opposite of that. Is now we are back near our lows. So what does that mean for me? I mean, it's quite simple, man. We just average in. So we take our Peloton. We do have some targets down here. If Peloton wants to come back and break 40, then we'll get out of that. But for right now, we'll average into Peloton and hope the market comes back up, and then we'll be able to take this out. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But that's going to be Peloton for me right now, averaged into that one. We do have another average coming in here at 40.50 right at this level, and then we'll see what happens downside around 40 flat on that one. AMC, like, thank God this worked out for us a little bit here. So AMC now coming back down to the downside. So we do seek a little bit of revenge on this. It's not as many shares. We did learn our lesson. Thank you guys for pointing that out to me. We did learn the lesson on that one, and we don't want to short this too much. But again, we don't have any bids now all the way down here, 23.40, something like that. If AMC wants to fall back down here, we will take 80 more cents.
Peloton's going nuts. I don't know what just happened.
Oh yeah, it is. Let's go.
There was a cross all the way up to 42 even. I just saw it. It's back down now, but there was a single order cross that went from 41 and change all the way up to 42.10.
Yeah, man, I got out.
You got filled there.
That's why you got to have an offer.
I wasn't going to get out there. I still like the trade, but I just saw it off the corner of my eye. I was like, what is going on there? It was a single order cross. It was nuts. I don't even know what the volume was. Now I'm curious what the volume was.
I mean, there's obviously some news here. The volume is monstrous, man. It's bigger than the open candle. But that's why you have orders out, man. Look, sometimes good to be lucky to be good. But at the same time, if you're trading the right stocks, and what did I say? I said Peloton is like one announcement away from getting up, making moves to the upside here, whether or not it's, I don't know, a revision on sales, holiday numbers, who knows what's going to happen here for Peloton. I like the name. We've talked about that. It's obviously not the most fantastic name here, but Peloton continues to want to work anyways. Nicely done to the upside, and thanks for that, Arun. I don't know, that came absolutely out of nowhere.
It was 150,000 shares from 41.01 all the way up to 42 and change.
Yeah, there's news here for sure. So let's go over to Brendan.
Spokesperson saying that the production halt report is false. So remember I said earlier, there was rumors flying around suggesting they were going to stop production and stop development for next year. They're now saying, the company actually coming out saying that that rumor is false, guys.
All right.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, no matter what, we'll hit it because it's a hot dog kind of trade there for Peloton. You don't want to eat too many hot dogs, but if you do, you got to go right back onto that bike and get going right now. So Peloton, 50 cents in the money. Nice trade there for me. Lucid, $1.20 in the money. Taking out highs again. We did get a little bit out here, man, as it broke back down through 38.50. So Lucid, you can see my positions on the board, man. It's been a good day so far here today. A volatile one, needless to say here, Arun. So some volatility coming through as NVIDIA now again.
There goes Peloton.
Yeah, right back. Is Peloton still going?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is. Nice little dollar now in the money. 42.30. So there it is, man. I saw Trader Prad tweeted at me yesterday. He said, okay, he was bearish on Peloton. Now he's bullish because he saw that I was bullish. But don't always be that for a reason. But there it is. Rob, bang right there. So we go bang for Peloton as it's ripping to the high side right now. We're back, baby. I don't know how the show was with Neil. I'm sure it was just as good, but I'm having a lot of fun with you here today. Arun, back up to the upside. Let's go, Peloton. Let's take another piece out. Why the hell not?
Yeah, I'm going back to that 43. We talked about this from the beginning. Around 43 or so is where I'm going to look to get my first exit. It's a nice 78 cents in the money right now, but there's a reason why we chose certain prices, right? It's because it's at locations that make sense in terms of risk reward, all that stuff. So 43 or so is roughly where I'm going to start looking to get a piece out. I've got an order out there. Hopefully we can get the fill. If we can't, I might have to adjust. Based on the volume that's coming in between 42.50 and 43, I might move that down. But for now, we're just going to leave the order in. Maybe we get picked up on some massive swipes to the upside on Peloton. So we are up on that. Surprisingly, maybe not anymore, but at some point, all four of my positions were in the money. We've lost Citigroup we've got Citigroup back by less than 1 cent. 0.0002 is what I'm up on Citigroup in terms of share, in terms of pennies. And then PG is out 5 cents. We're looking to get a fill on Peloton, close to 43, as close as possible we can get on Peloton. But like I said, I might have to move it down if we don't get the kind of action I want above 42.50. PayPal is still something I'm looking at around that 189. Maybe, like I mentioned earlier, maybe a fade If we can't take out 190, that's one option. And then NVIDIA has completely backed away from that 285. Remember, we were looking for this potential long here at some point on NVIDIA around this 285, right? Complete rejection means that idea is out the door. I know that means the level I was looking at, there's something bigger than I initially would have thought that was there. So we're going to wait. Why am I? What the hell? Oh, no. Okay, let me fix this. Sean, can you take over?
Yeah, of course. So, all right, let's go. I'm just looking at a few names here, trying to get like myself in and out of some trouble here on some of these names, but so far so good here today, man. It's been a good day. Someone said, how does Arun deal with my energy? I think he deals with it pretty damn good over there. So, and a lot of the time too, like Arun and I know what positions we're in and things like that. So if he's on like a serious position or anything like that, I'm not going to sit here and do all those things. These are just, we're having a good time. We just exploded on Peloton. So yeah, I mean, we're super, super happy with the way that moved. So that was a good trade for us. And again, thank you for all the love and the support that continues, man, on here. And I guess it was a little bit of a calmer show with my man, Neil. He'll be back in there tomorrow. So thank you so much for, again, all the continued, all the continued love that we continue to get. I almost put another trade in there on NVIDIA on another screen. NVIDIA still waiting for that 277. I don't know if it's going to come in here, but look at the NASDAQ.
Yeah,
it's like,
lows.
Yeah, it's Puke City here. I might just get out of this one. I mean, why are we even fighting this? I've gotten out before and like regretted it, but wow, there goes Lucid as well. This one will just do this.
Money, 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 money.
I mean, there it is, man. We talked about taking 38.50 early. We took that early. This is on the sticky note. And then it went up, so we got 20 cents quick time. And then it came all the way back down, and we started doing a little bit more work, analyze this. I'm starved, by the way, right now. And that's part of the problem when you take those vacations, man. You come back in, and it's like, what the heck? Your system's all messed up. 37.20 right back in here, and we defend this 37 area by taking a decent position here at 37.60, and now it's booming to the upside, man. We're erasing like all our negativity today, just right now, which has been a good one, man. 250 up in the money right now on Peloton, $1.50 in the money here, and we traded a little bit of Ethereum today. We are short right now. You can see we busted one long, and then we took one short as this is starting to drop down. This is ETHE. So shout out to my man Jeffrey Mendel over there at OTC Markets. Disney's starting to fall down as well. AMD. Let's just keep on going. I sold some HUD 8 by accident yesterday. I realized I put in a buy and it was a sell instead. So I got to get back into some HUD 8 as I look at that price here today. But that was a good out on Peloton, man. And there it is. That's why you take those out. Like when you get an instant move on something like that and Arun's like, there goes Peloton. Yeah. I'm like, huh? Like that made no sense. So when it goes up, we're lucky enough to be sitting there. And then that was a very, very aggressive out for me. 42.50. So that was like about $1.30 there. So all is well over on this end. We'll wait to get Brendan. We're ready for Brendan, it looks like, over there on the big screen. Happening now with only 10 minutes left, Arun. Happening now.
One of those, anyways. Let's talk about money, guys, because that's why we're all here. U.S. dollar back positive on the day after that inflation number this morning at 8:30. Did have quite a lot of volatility came in, obviously, as it normally does around that number. I want to talk about the Canadian dollar, though, because the inflation data on this side of the border that was supposed to come out this morning delayed, apparently because of Stats Canada issues. So we had a big spike up to 79 and then straight back down. This is a daily chart over the past couple of weeks or so. So 79 all the way back down to recent lows right now as we speak for the CAD. 77.8, 0.3 to the downside right now. Again, U.S. dollar positive, British pound. I mean, everything else kind of flat here so far today. Australia and New Zealand kind of making moves lower. Turkish lira higher on the day. Cryptos higher on the day as well. But yeah, not really doing much. 46,900. It's been a while since we've done this segment, a couple of days anyway. So back to 47,000. Huge level for Bitcoin, guys.
Oh, yeah, update on Peloton. I've walked away with 30 cents. I tried to get some out in front of 42.50, but by the time I put the order out, it was too late. So I didn't get a chance to lock in about at least $1 on the half. But once we took out like that 80-something area, 41.80-something on Peloton, I just dumped it. This was just one of those like swipe up, swipe down situations. And I'm not sure this is the long anymore. I've got the order out, not an order, I've got a marker left here at 40 even. If we end up taking out 40 even, maybe shorts are on the table. So we're going to spin the read around from a short to from a long to a potential short depending on how it goes, the market obviously has taken out new lows. Here we are sitting at 46.13 after taking out 46.20. That was the level I had marked off. Now what do I do? Do I want to go short? And this is what I'm debating here. Do I want to go short below 46.20 with the 46.30 stop? I just don't know if I can trust the selling that or the action around 46.25 to warrant that short and that risk. So it's one of those situations where I'm like, I want to go short, but do I trust the levels that I have in front of me to kind of work with? So I'm going to wait a little bit more. I just want to see a little bit more trading before I kind of make that decision there. But for now, we're just going to ride the 3 trades that I've got, which have spun around quite a bit. DKNG is back in the money. Citigroup has fallen off. I guess that kind of makes sense with the market. But PG, I don't know what's going on with PG, because that was set up nicely below 157. And then as the market falls off, PG reaffirms its strength and decides that it wants to go back above 157. I'll leave it because the setup is there. So the short read makes sense and the location makes sense. So if it's going to just kind of drift around against me, that's fine. But this kind of is somewhat concerning because it's relative strength in a market that's putting in new lows, which could become a problem later on when the market decides to spin around. So for now, we're just going to ride these 3 trades out. I've got nothing. BABA is coming off, which is a good thing because at the speed that it was moving, there was no trades. But now, at least if it comes back a little bit, there could be a nice little setup, some levels kind of marked off a little bit that I can actually work with. And then maybe in an hour or so, we get some more action. And then I can actually make a trade on BABA. There's definitely something there. I just got to figure out where the levels are that I can work with. But for now, sit on the 3 trades, wait it out. Maybe the futures comes back a little bit, gives me some new levels that I can actually be confident with, and then we take that shot.
Yeah, we were a little bit sad about getting out of Apple, but you could see, it ripped all the way to 177. Now you're back down. It took out that 174, and I completely missed it. That literally just happened. So take out that 174. So now you got to watch out and try to look for some of these shorts as Apple takes out a very, very key level there on the daily chart. It's more, I guess it was on the 20-minute chart. What we were looking at, it's this defending these levels right here. That's 174. You get 174 back there on the 9th, 174 back here on the 8th, so on and so forth. So we just hit that out. Now Apple, if the king can't hold this market, man, I don't know what to think. So right now we'll wait on that one coming back down. Apple, we are out of it. We don't have any worries right now for AAPL. AMC though, man, we'll dap up for that one as AMC comes all the way back down. So this is going to look, this might be the trade of the day. We could talk all about this because we have 2 blowouts there, and then we got back in, and now we just took profits again at this level. If it falls, great. We're not heavy in this name again, but we did make back a decent amount of this. So thank God the money kept falling down in here as AMC fell back down. A great trade for a lot of you today, man. AMC went from down 7 or 8% to positive. So a great trade there for AMC. Congratulations to everybody looking at that. We did also just get into more NVIDIA right now, Arun. I know I'm hearing everything you're talking about with the market. We are at these lows again right now. If we do get a little bit of a bounce up, all I'm trying to do is make a little bit of cash on this. So we do take, what was that last fill, just to tell you guys, 278.60. So it rips up. Yeah, there it goes, coming back down. I was going to say, it rips back up into the money for us, about that 40 or 50 cents, but we can't take that. What is this? This is 280.50. So maybe we get a 280.50 out there if it wants to go, but we're going to average into that one. I would love for it to get back up to 282. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know about this market. Down goes AMC. So again, a lot of you don't like to hear this, but whatever, man. We're spitting down the money right now. Down goes AMC. I think this is probably worth taking out another piece. I cannot believe it. And the sticky note wins, man. Although we can all win. We can all win. First of all, let's hit the likes. If you guys haven't hit the likes, let's do that. We can go over to Miss V again and talk about that. But here's AMC shorted at 24. We just got a little excited, and we'll put the sticky note back in the chat for all of you as well right now. Check out the sticky note every day. I'm here. It'll be there. And there it is, man. A nice little crack to the downside. But as I look right now, we can't have 5,000 watching and only 1.6K likes. If you haven't done that yet, please turn it around. I think we've had good dynamic here today. Arun's been making some trades. We've been hitting everything today. Some good ones on Lucid, CCL, and AMC. The only 2 negative names we're going to have. We're making some back here on AMC right now. So hit that like button if you can. Any last trades you want to talk about here? Because we are getting ready. It's market movers. coming up very, very soon. So Market Movers coming up with Trader Pratt and Miss V coming up right after the show, Arun.
Yeah, well, someone in the chat put up BA because I was trading this earlier today. I was long and then kind of got out a little early before they took the 200. Yeah, quite the wild ride. I see that too, man. So the reason I had to let Sean or to ask Sean to cover for a little bit there was I had accidentally left an order to get me short below 197. I was not expecting that, so when I saw it pop in, I was like, oh crap. So that's why I got out. I got in and I got out. I made I think 15 cents or something, but complete accident. That's not a winner. That would have been a nice winner now, but I don't treat those as good things. That's an accident. That should never have happened. I got lucky this time, but they should not happen. So I got to be more on top of my game when it comes to checking my order placement. But I'm still looking at Boeing. Remember, if we fail that 200, and I was looking at 197, hence why the order went off, there could still be a short here, but I don't want to price the 197. I want to price it higher into the 198s if I'm going for the short. Or flip side is I want to take the short below 195, which would be the low of the day or the low of the pre-market and whatnot. So if we can get below 195, I'd love to participate on the sell side. If we get into the 198, 198 half, and we start to kind of set up a short side move, I'd love to participate on the short side on the fade as well. Obviously, the marker now is going to be like 200, maybe even 201 or so. But definitely, there's a lot happening around that 200 mark on Boeing as we kind of come off a little bit. Futures, what are we doing right before I take off? 46.065 right now. We're about 7 points away from 4,600. Market coming off hard and fast. Just keep an eye out, though. In Europe, European close is coming in about half an hour. So that should bring some volatility as well. Just be aware that's going to happen in about half an hour. Until we get to that point, we're going to go to Valeria at the desk.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a great, profitable morning so far. Thank you very much for 1,800 likes, and just 200 is needed to get to 2,000, and it would be so wonderful on the first day of Sean coming back from his holiday to get to that 2,000. So team, if you didn't like this video, please do it right now. Join me and Prad to trade the lunchtime on the markets, and happy National Monkey Day, everyone.
Monkey Day? Okay. I like that monkey. That's a nice little monkey. That's not a monkey, though, I don't think. I think that's like one of those. What are you even doing here? I think that's one of those. I don't know what those kind of monkeys are
but
called.
He's shorting AMC, so how can you put his face on it?
Yeah, I am short AMC right now. $1.50 in the money on that one. So kind of cool there. NVIDIA bouncing back upside right now. It should be a good one. We have Market Movers coming up. Thank you so much. If you can hit the like button, that would be fantastic as well. Let's see if we can get to 2K here on the show. And it's just been a good one. Just a quick review. We are $1.50 in the money on AMC as that just continues to fall down. Stupid. Like if we didn't get out of there, man, we would be printing a hell of a lot of cash. But again, we got out and I don't know what else to do. Could have ripped even higher. So I'm pretty happy with that. Lucid's been a good trade for us. We'll see about Lucid getting out around here. If it goes anywhere near 40, we'll be out of that. So far a good trade for Lucid. And then look what happened to Peloton, man. That's why you ring the Reggie, baby. We're holding a very, very small piece as it's coming back in, and we're actually waiting now at 40.50. Let's see if we can get some longs down here and defend 40. So Peloton all the way back, but no matter what, man, Peloton's still one of my top stocks today as we're able to get in and out of that one. Anything else? No earnings, I guess, as we just sort of went into what day it was there. But look, it's been a fantastic show. This is the morning show. We're back at 2 p.m. for the afternoon show. But right now, we got to move it over to Market Movers with, I was going to say with Arun, but you're right here, with Trader Pratt and Miss V. We'll see the rest of you guys at 2 p.m. Ciao. Good luck, Brad.
Ciao. Welcome back to Market Movers. I'm your host, Trader Pratt. This is the beautiful Miss V to my right.
Thank you, Prad, and hey guys, welcome back everyone. I hope you like our new name and our new thumbnail. We look pretty. What?
I didn't even see the thumbnail.
I love it. You need to see that we're so pretty in there. Well, guys, as usual, please be active on the chat. Ask us anything. And of course, like this